sharks, midnight glory, heartbeat thumping, another story. Green and red, flashing voices loud, future kings standing on their cloud. Checking the charts with their AI, up we go, reaching for the sky. Every trade home never dies, on the edge as the numbers fly. Checking the charts, tracking the charts, midnight glory. Time to in awe, it's blending, mind on fire, never ending. Dreams of gold, endless fight, push on through the endless night. Push on through the endless night. Push on through the endless night.
What's up, guys? Give me a second. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? Bum, bum. What do we got going on today? Non-farm. Market back up after crazy, weird, choppy nonsense day yesterday. We're almost at upper DD bands today. Well, that's good to see. Okay, what's up, guys? Good morning. Getting to a slightly late start, but appreciate y'all being here. Looking at my glasses. Gotta do this every morning. A morning routine. I could see. What's up? Matthias Goldigger, Vermont, Julian. Sport Keegs, Darnell, Nathan, Roman, JTR Morrison, Simon Dean. Good morning. Are you guys related? Ricky, Taekwon, Trading Hack, Todd, Aid, Tyler. What's up? What's up? Mo, what's up? Brian, what's up? EC, what's up? Fraser, what's up? Jim, Benny, TD Trade, Jason. Oh, I lost the. There it is. Jessica Kennedy, Sean, EK, Ricky, DV. Gosh. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Eric. Good morning, Saab. Good morning, Brandon. Dean Will outside. Good morning. Dungeon on PB. What's up? Corey Smith. Much love. 4 years following you on Twitter. Can't thank you enough. We'll appreciate you. Be part of the community, man. Keith, Rav, Hui, Lee, Omen, Zedu, Simon, Gareth. Good morning. What did I watch last night? I watched The Theory of Everything, the Stephen Hawking movie. I was like putting something on and I was like, oh, let's watch this. I've seen it before. What's up, Darnell? What's up, Steven? What's up, Chris? Armand, what's up? Matt, Cigar. Got our Top Step funded account yesterday. Let's go. Morning. Manly, good morning, Jung. She's so fine. What's up? How long is lifetime? 2,500 going for 1 week. That's it. 1 week. So I just launched it, but for 1 week from when I launched it. So next Wednesday. Hopefully you get your first payout for Funded X today. They were pretty quick to get paid out in 24 hours. I've gotten 2 payouts. It was super quick. Speaking of that, let me double check. We gotta plug in here. After a big day like yesterday, we get the non-farms come out and market just like pretty much just rectifies everything back to normal. You guys will notice the watch list has been moved right here to make it a little bit easier, more accessible. They put it in the wrong spot and they didn't put the label that I told them to do. They kind of just threw it here and reused this old container for it. If you look right here, it's the bricks. It will have a WL and it will be here at the bottom going forward. So all of you guys, watch list has been moved, and that's to give us more room at the bottom so that you guys can see the charts better on the stream. You having the watch list open, right? Leaving this bottom area open. Shrunk the charts down, so now it should be a lot more visible for y'all. A little bit easier. It already, like, my eyeballs are already adjusting to the new. It's like, oh, all the space. Yeah, I know it's a great change. It's confusing though, because they just basically lazily used an old container we had here. Instead of moving and creating a new one and all that, they just popped it in there to get it done today. But it should be moved down here. I don't want it up here above the liquidity map. It just looks kind of silly. It needs to be at the bottom. So in the future, it will be, I will have it to where it's below your liquidity map. Like a liquidity map here, and then watch list will be below it. That way, top center, you have your guide, and then you can flip between your tickers here. It'll flow a little bit better that way. Anyway, any case, I do like it. Okay, let me double check that I have all my stuff lined up here. 21, 59.45. Yep. So we have MHP. We're definitely above MHP. We're definitely an upper DD band. This is like one of those days. It's just kind of like, you're like, oh man, there goes most of the trading days, possible activity. You know, once you've moved up here, you kind of like exhausted the move a little bit, but hopefully we get something neat. Gonna probably open somewhere in there. We're probably gonna half gap somewhere down in there. Play a nice big range. We'll play with it later. Got all my tools here. Redrawing. You go there. Where are the rest of my stuffs? Oh, here it is. There it is. Put you here. Put you here. Put you here. Put you right there. Oops. Marking on my chart. Do this every morning. Okay, and one more. Pretty soon we'll have all this automated, which would be kind of nice. Right now we're working on the multi-chart feature, which is going to have internal multi-charts to a frame. So you have your browser tab or browser window open. You will have an option up here, trading views multi-chart. So essentially you'll be able to split your chart focus into 2 different, 3 different, 4 different, whatever arrangement of charts you want inside the same window. We had ours with multi-window. So that's going to come out soon. We're working on that right now. It becomes a little more difficult than just doing it because of the futures. CQG connection only allows you to have one. And the reason we're doing this is that the CQG connection only allows you to have, in the CQG thing, one open connection at a time. And so each window is considered a separate connection. And therefore we can't have futures on the right side charts. You may notice on my right side, you may notice futures only open up in the main window. And that's because of the CQG limitation. But internal to the same window, we'd have one connection to CQG, and then we can proxy split that however we do it to multiple windows. Now you can have futures charts open in multiple places. That's the new thing that's coming out. Good morning, everybody. I had some fucking weirdo last night in my Twitter feed, like saying you never make a trade, you never show a trade. I've watched all your streams. I've shown more trades in a day than most people have shown in a year. I think people are just trolling at this point. We got so big now we're attracting all the goofball trolls out there. So for those of you that are fucking blind or eat pain chips for a living, the right side of the stream is a DOM. When I push this green button that says buy, you'll see a green number here. When I push this red button that says sell, you'll see a red number here. So if Mr. whoever you are happen to be here, you're not just trolling. I post my monthly reports from Tradeify. I trade the same 5 accounts on stream as I always have. The DOM is never off the stream. I always make the trades here. When I push the button, I close the button, and I put the P&L every day. I tweet the P&L every day. So no, it's not Photoshop. Yes, it's real. No, I'm not Photoshopping video in real time, but it's weird that some people are fucking morons and they watch your stream like, I don't see a trade, and I go, you seen a DOM before? You seen the green? You seen the P&L showing screen? I don't know. Maybe it's just they can't see it, but there it is. Weirdos. Literally, I'm known for being the guy that shows his trades. I've been doing it for 10 years on YouTube, and I've been always showing my trades. Literally, you can watch the entry, watch the exit. I don't know. Like a summary, I post the dailies. I tweet the dailies. I try to remember to tweet the dailies as much as I can, like every day or throughout the day. Yeah, yesterday I ended up taking a loss yesterday because I got caught up in that chop at the end of the day. I tried to grab some of that trade, and it just chopped me out one more time. So I was trying to get this trade right here, and then I took one more loss. But it's kind of like weirdest trading day we've had in a while. How you set a stop loss on a DOM? It just depends on what platform. In Tradeivate, you can right click on the order entry, right? This column right here, the bid or the ask. You can right click on it. It will place a stop. Left click will place a limit order. Trading TPT at the Tradeivate. How does it matter which data feed you buy? They have a $4 amount CQG should top of book. Keith, that's all you'll ever need for anything really. Top of book gives you exactly what you see on my screen. The best bid, the best offer, current price on your candle chart, and also historic data all comes in level 1. The difference with level 2 is it'll just fill out the order book. That's it. Level 2 is only the extra orders on the book, and I don't think anyone here will ever care about that. Somebody says the thing is you're taking trades on other accounts which are not shown on the DOM. I always take the intended trade on the screen. I'm trading 18 different accounts, and there's no way I'm going to put any of that on the stream. And I have options to count everything. It's not like I'm going to sit there and draw every single thing I do. Some of the stuff I do is not even part of the stream. Like I trade on the side of my real account. I don't ever talk about that. I trade on the side of my options account. Very rarely will I talk about that. So on the stream, I'm trading, as it says in the fucking title, I'm trading my Tradeify accounts, and whether all of it's shown or one of it's shown or 5 of it's shown, it's impossible logistically to get them all on the screen. So you guys barely can see the charts as it is with one DOM on there, and there's not much I can do about that other than what I try to do, which is to give you periodic updates of the whole balances of all 5 of them. So, but I don't, and prop firms prevent me from longing in one and shorting in the other. So I'm taking the same trades and the other accounts. They're all, you know, for the most part in the same trade or sitting out. So it wouldn't even matter because they'd be making the same trade. So then we just left it at, we're just going to just, you know, just show the leading trade. So I'll make my first entry always on the screen. And then if I make subsequent entries, it's always like, I'll let you guys know. And then I'm doing it. If you want me to spend a lot of time switching DOMs left and right, then you're just being too picky. Because they can't be in a different trade. You can't long in one and short in the other because you'll get banned. You know, you won't get payouts. So the best, this is like mathematically the best we can do. Yeah. But yeah, there's always a DOM on the screen. So I'm not out there doing extra trades. Usually if I'm in a trade and it's going to be this one that I enter in first, I always do this. And then people complain like, well, why don't you show the other one that's making money? Why do you show the one that's losing? Because the first entry is always the one on the screen. And it's like when you get one option to do a DOM and I have to trade 5 of them at once. I can have this here and have one DOM and flip through the accounts, but then I have to click a button, go to the account number, load it up, then click buy or sell. And in the efficiency of trading, that's too slow. I can't be switching account numbers while flipping between multiple accounts in one DOM. I literally have to have 5 DOMs so I can go click, 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 and close them all out. So I love you guys so much, but at the end of the day, I'm here to make money. And I'm not going to make myself less efficient so people can fucking copy trade me because they want to be lazy. That's really what it is. How much of lazy people want to just watch what I do so I can do it and make free money. Yeah, so that's why the people get mad. Show us other things that you do. I'm like, why don't you just go learn to trade? It's really what it is. You can't long with one firm and short with the other. It doesn't matter if I long with one firm and short with the other. I don't, but if I did, it wouldn't even matter. It's like, here's an example, right? Even if somebody were to do that and that's their strategy, why do they owe you their strategy? You know what I mean? It's a good point you bring up though. If somebody wanted to do whatever they wanted to do, like, you know, if my stream focus was trading futures and on the side I was, you know, teaching a knitting class, it's not related to the stream focus. Stream focus is Tradeify right now. That's all I'm doing. Here's my 5 Tradeify accounts. I'm going to 150. Let's do it. If I go out there and I'm shorting in Funded Next and not trading in my Tradeify, it's not like I owe you guys visibility on something I'm not always showing. Because if I do that, then people will call shenanigans of like, well, why are you only posting this one when you win and that one when you win? So my stream is literally this. Tradeify is it. That's all I'm going to show you. Once I get to my goal with Tradeify and go live, I'm going to switch to something else. Maybe Top Step is my next goal. And I'm going to focus only on that because a lot of the streamers out there will like, oh, look, check this out. I made all this money and take profit today. Woohoo. And then they'll be like, oh, I made all this money and Funded Next today. Woohoo. Oh, I made all this money in Top Step today. And they flip around because they're showing you the winning one. Instead, I'm committing to one, whether it's win or lose. It's not a different firm every other day. The other firms I do trade, I try not to focus on the stream as much or pretty much at all because people will start saying, well, why you only show that when you're winning or whatever. And then I'll have to commit to showing you guys the 18 trading accounts I'm trading. So I'm saying I'm going to commit to the 5. The stream focus is just the 5. Hopefully that makes sense, right? Remember, it's a problem no matter how you do it. So occasionally I'll just like, I made a trade in Funded Next, I'll tell you guys, but it's not like, you know, here's my tweet of, oh, I made like 10,000 in Funded Next today. And then it's quiet for 3 weeks, you know? It's tradeify, because I want to commit to one thing. That way people don't say, well, you only show your winning account. You long this one and short that one. You only show the winning one. Trust me, I've been in this for 10 years. I know what everybody wants to see and what complains about the other folks. I get it. So this is the most plausible solution. I commit to one on the stream, and everything else I do, don't listen to it or don't care about it. And the other firms I trade don't care about it. How's your fund and futures doing? Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? We're going to watch the journey of one account, just like I used to when I used to be a, non-prop firm trading. I do my real account, and I would trade just that for the journey. Here's where I started. Here's where I ended. And that way you guys can follow one journey. There's no shenanigans, and you get daily updates for that one journey. There you go. Just to clarify, we got 900 people come to the stream every day. We are the most transparent stream there is. I show my entries and exits of the first trade on my DOM on the screen. So I'm not over to the side, longing elsewhere, and then coming in long this last. This is always gonna be my first entry. So my intent to long or short is gonna be shown here. So just letting you guys know, a lot of new folks are wondering, like, why should we watch this dude? Well, I'm the highest performing trader on YouTube, probably. Really good traders out there too. And I'll show you guys all my stats and you guys can see it on screen. You think that the average hourly salary increase is a warning sign? I think it's part of what's going on with inflation, for sure. But just to make sure I clarify in case anybody was confused as to where my trades were at. They're up here on the screen on the right. And very few people will put their DOM on the screen and push buy and sell in front of your face. Very rare. And most of them are paper trading. All right, non-farms came out as a beat, 139 on 126. Private non-farms, 140 over 110. Unemployment rate is at 7.8. The May came in just like last time. June came in just like last time. So we're not getting the unemployment rate, at least, it's a lag data, of course, but it's not showing increases, even though the jobless claims were showing slight amount of increases on the weekly. So the next bump on the unemployment rate should show a little bit higher because of the lagging nature of this data point, and slightly higher, but it didn't catch up on this one. Hourly earnings year over year is a little higher. Now, again, let's talk about that. Year over year is using kind of like the inflation of wages. So we're going up slightly, and that's not, I would just consider this really noise. It's not much of a big deal. You notice that wage inflation got really crazy due to COVID and the shortages of labor, right? People had to pay ridiculous amounts, but anything around this like 4 or less is typically, acceptable in noise. So while it is in this environment, in previous environments, closer to like 2 and 3 was a little bit more seen. Let's see if I can go further back than that. The previous rally after the last recession was, 2 to 3. That's your normal healthy growing, right here. But see, people demand more salary because of inflation, right? So the hourly earnings have gone up slightly, on average, another a full point over what it was in like the 2012 to 2020 rally in bull market, just because we're still somewhat high inflation post COVID, and companies locked in people's wages. And it's not like you're going to bring somebody in and then 2 years later say, okay, we're going to cut your salary. COVID created a permanent adjustment to those values over what they normally were, which is here. If that makes sense. Upper DD band, there's that first bump here on the S&P. I gotta get used to moving my mouse over here. But I wouldn't say that that's good or bad. I'd just say that that's pretty flat, pretty normal, and for this environment. So, but great thought, because it is an upright. It's a slight tick higher, and the question is it trending higher because of the environment or because of the tariffs or whatever? I think it's just kind of flat. I don't think any of the companies have really made much movement at all on anything. There's a knitting class. What time? Oh yeah, I'll tell you all about it. But yeah, you guys, y'all are blessed here. You do get the most transparent stream on YouTube by far. There's nobody that does the degree that I go to really show y'all pretty much everything. I show you a journey of the accounts. They don't magically disappear. They don't magically turn green, turn red. I put the total balance on the screen. I took a $9,000 loss yesterday at the end of the day, getting chopped when I was profitable at the start of the day. Middle of the day, I was fine. Nothing hidden. Give you guys all the data. Need to get all my stuff here. The upper DD band here, lower DD band here. But you guys can see the DOM, right? I mean, is there anything I can do to make it easier to see? If anybody's confused as to where it is, y'all let me know. Is it too small? Is it good enough? What are these? Oh, these are my, oops. I don't need that. Best trading stream you ever seen. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. And also somebody's saying you can lose both accounts if you long one and short the other. Exactly. And even if you long one and short the other, it is a strategy that some traders use. It's called prop firm arbitrage. There's nothing illegal in doing that, but a lot of traders will do that. Yeah. When can we back test? We're still building. Once you get the multi-chart features in, it's part of the bigger project to open a backtest module. So that's the next thing we're working on this year. Somebody says just trade one account, bro, and show the P&L for it. That's it. No, I'm not changing my trading so that you can sit here and get a free ride in your account. What is wrong with some people? Jesus Christ. Okay. Don't tell me what to do. Go somewhere else. What's up, Joyce? Good morning. Fucking weirdos. Okay. Do open positions, show somewhere. No offense, but your trading is irrelevant. Most of us here believe for the knowledge for this education. Garrett, my brother from another mother over here. In it for the right reasons. To chill with like-minded nerds. To talk about numbers. To draw shapes on our screen and analyze the angles. To come at it with a mathematical approach. But yeah, no. Please don't tell me what to do. I can't be any more transparent. I used to just trade one account though on screen before I got into the prop firm world. Then prop firms are, you know, it's a 6-figure a month paycheck. So of course I'm going to trade prop firms and chase the money and completely fucking sell out. Like, no, I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I want to take the easy free money. Like, there's transparency for you. I used to love trading my one account and being the only elitist in futures that was like, don't do prop firms. Like, I'm the real trader. And I had die-hard fans that were like, thank God somebody's not doing prop firms. But then I made a trading platform and it's relevant in the prop firm space now. So therefore I had to learn the prop firm game and I got into it that way. Are you here for the gangbang? Did you bring a bunch of bananas? was that from Super Troopers? We're here for the gangbang. Let Pickle out now to pee before the market opens. This is a good request. I already took him out. I know. I'm missing IDOC. No, I had somebody like go historically invade all my comments with some kind of fake troll that says he doesn't show his trades. It's weird because I show my trades literally on the screen when I make them. So I thought I'd just give a speech because somebody's watching my stream. Here it is. It's right here. It's the right side of the screen. That's it. IDOC needs to be here though, because Pickle is needy. More needy than I am. Okay, so what we're looking at today is inside the 2DD bands. So it's like basically where our market tries to stay between these green lines. We've now pushed above it. Let me just move this out of the way. Non-farm data came out pretty good, right? Of course, that's delayed data. Unemployment filings have shown recent layoffs a little tiny bit, not a lot, but a little tiny bit. But it's not really that much. And the continuing jobless claims have ticked up a couple of times, so it's not really that much either. The unemployment rate hasn't gone up. Obviously, it's, you know, delayed data, or it's not showing now. It's like you know, there's an older data on that. But the continuing jobless claims, initial jobless claims, ticked up a little bit, but it's just in the range of noise. It's not enough to make a big splash in the unemployment. Continuing jobless claims are flat, but they've been starting to trickle up over the last 4 prints, and it's not really that much either. Just, you know, another, you know, 30, 40, 50,000. It's not really a lot. It's not going to show up in the unemployment rate 7.8. It's going to be seen as flat here. But unemployment's been, you know, slightly going higher for many reasons since COVID. Not just because of the recession, but because companies are becoming more efficient, and because AI is taking our jobs, and because people are being able to work from home, and it's teaching these companies that they don't actually need the employee after all. So actually the unemployment rate's gone up and up and up and up. And you can see that in the jolts have been coming down and down and down and down. Companies are actually becoming more efficient. That's the conclusion I've come to with that. Jolts are go down and down. COVID taught people that ran companies that they had a lot of unnecessary mouths they were feeding the operation of the company. And once you sent everybody home and everybody could work from home and basically work from Zoom calls, company CEOs got really smart and said, wow, we actually don't need like 5% of our team. So goodbye. That's kind of what we're seeing in the data. Other than that, it's not really unhealthy for the economy, but there is a slow growing trend of rising unemployment due to many factors, you know, and obviously the tariffs are going to make it even harder for people to get their jobs back. And the ADP numbers came through and shown that there weren't a lot of new payrolls on the ADP side, even though the non-farms came through and looked pretty okay, right? Beating expectations. So the government number disagrees with the ADP number. Whatever you take out of that, I don't know. Right. So even though I would say that in general, the non-farms actually do show that. Let me start over. It is showing that same little blip that the ADP is showing. It's just not, it just didn't lose against expectations. This is the same thing ADP did show. You had somewhat of like, you know, slightly higher 200 to 300,000, but we've been below 200,000 since Trump took office. And this is definitely tariff related, right? And we can see the same blip in the non-farms. That was my mistake. We did just beat the forecast of 126, but it'd be nice if it was closer to 200, 250 like it has been, you know, leading up into Trump coming into office. But you can just see that companies aren't quick to hire new people because of the tariffs, right? Everybody's still in slow roll trying to figure out what to do. And the unemployment tells a longer story of companies. Not why are we not hiring new people? Because they realize they don't even need the old people. And that's the two different stories being told right now. Your jobless claims going up, your unemployment rate not going down, and it going up over time, your jolts coming down to tell you companies are downsizing because they're becoming more efficient with fewer employees. And that's going to be the mechanism they use to fight the tariffs, become even more efficient. But it's not like they're laying off a bunch of people at once. It's just like they're just realizing they don't need people. My dad's company, AT&T, and I worked for AT&T for like, I don't know, 40 something years before he retired, basically tried to force people to retire and gave them incentives to retire, to downsize, because they didn't need everybody. And my dad worked at AT&T. He was in corporate. He ran the DSL division. You guys remember DSL internet from, I don't know, like 2000s? You guys remember DSL, right? Before broadband was like big. So people still use DSL. It's still in non-cities. It's still out there. My dad ran the DSL. He was a high-ranking guy in the DSL department for a while. So he managed the DSL projects, essentially. So any DSL installation, like he was the guy that designed and built all the infrastructure for like that, and they still have it out there. But obviously that's not really a technology to be around forever, but they were like, you need to retire. Anyone who wants to retire, here's money. So companies are really starting to, like, you know, in the last 5 years, you know, incentivize retiring. You'll have girls with DSL. Oh yeah, baby. Let's go. The Bell South days. Yeah, dude, my dad started with the company when it was Southwestern Bell, way back in the day. When they split up Ma Bell, it's all different pieces. Nice. You pass the phone the next thing you do the interview. Has anyone done that yet? What to expect? It's very quick. You just have a meeting. It's a video meeting. It's super quick. You got one of your accounts terminated for micro scalping. It's only 22 trades over 3 days that last for less than 15 seconds. Oh. Well, if there's a no micro scalping strategy, you got to be careful with that. You joined the bootcamp yesterday. It looks like you're starting in the middle of something. Yeah, actually starting at the end of the bootcamp, but we'll start over in a couple of weeks, so you'll be fine. Welcome to the stream, guys. Everybody, you're ready starting up here. Love you guys. I'm a cool trader. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Is the blue line on weekly currently higher than the monthly? Yeah, it is currently. We're opening way out of bounds on NASDAQ here. By far, everybody, just FYI, they've moved the watch list to the right side to give you a little bit more room on the charts up and down, rather than having to have your watch list open at the bottom. That was a quality of life change that I put in pretty quickly so that you guys could have a little bit easier time on the stream to see everything. Okay. Yeah, I ended up taking a loss yesterday. I was actually like negative, then positive, and I was positive when I got off of my funded futures. And at the end of the day, I took 9,000 loss just trying to like grab a dip. You know, I didn't think we were going to continue to chop down on like 4 different waves, but I ended up taking a couple losses in a couple different accounts of like 2,000 each, something like that. And then so ultimately went down. But I'm still way up, so no big deal. Today's probably gonna be weird. We're also out of bounds. The way that this works, 96% of days will close inside the DD band. I don't normally short off of that. One can take a long right off the open. It's not an A+ setup, but with the ratio greater than half, it definitely is a long pivot to trade off of the band itself to go higher. After yesterday's move and today's bump, I'm not really sure I want to do much outside these bands other than digest this market. We went all the way back up to yesterday's highs and then some. And this could be the day that just keeps rallying, but we'll see. You like the broader market commentary? Well, thank you. Thank you. Jobless claims are up and unemployment is up. Should we expect bearish market? It's up, but it's not up a lot. It's up inside of the range of still okay. Like it's, while you're correct, Jake, it's a hint of something, but it doesn't make the market go bearish. The market, that's just noise. And usually like when markets are bearish first before unemployment goes up really big, usually stock markets will crash first. But this is showing concern for the future, right? Your brain should zoom out on that number and say like, okay, this year, let's watch this number this year kind of thing. Not that like, okay, market's going to tank or crash on that. Market popped up and actually bad data. All this data doesn't look good. And Wall Street didn't seem to care that we did beat expectations, right? 139,000 is still fairly low on average for what non-farm has been. I mean, look at non-farm since COVID. I mean, non-farm has been less and less and less and less and less. People aren't going back to work. We basically hit harmony. We're not firing new people. We're not creating new jobs. We're not hiring new people. We've just kind of like hit a plateau, right? And so it's not necessarily bad. It's just not great. It's not good, but it's not terrible. It's not, you know what I mean? The rate at which we're growing has slowed down to a crawl. And, you know, it's just like, okay, let's keep an eye on that. But it's a good thought because you'd expect the market to respond in like kind of a bearish nature. Just this data point has been bad for a while and the market hasn't really cared just yet. But great. Yeah, great thought. The correlation is right, what you're thinking. Okay. I'm gonna be looking for like our pivots are extremely like, you know, way off the chart down here. So there's really nothing in the vicinity we're trading. I can take a trade off the upper band. What I'm going to do is wait to see if we get any liquidity pockets. And if not, it's just a sit out day, which will be nice. We don't short above the upper band. You guys know the rule there. And I teach that. Even though it can tuck back in and the band can be a resistance pivot that crashes the market, instead I'll sit out and let it fall. Unless I get the confluence, and that's on this particular... I'll put these charts here. Where'd it go? Here it is. Over to the right. That one, and one minute till market opens, guys. With the move this high, I wouldn't be too quick to do anything out the door. It's likely to keep going higher, but we'll see. I don't short outside the band, except I long off the band, and I long off of monthly hedge pressure, bear zone top, and bull zone bottom. Longs only, small position. So up in here, up outside the screen band, no shorting, right? No fading. If the market's too powerful to want to fade, I never short up here, even though 96% of days will likely close below. And the situation of how high does it go before it sells off, we don't know. And that's why I don't short, because it can squeeze you really high before it does tuck back in. Instead, if I were to short this and I were a bear, I like to see this ratio less than half when it comes out. And I like to see the confirmation that we are below here, and then I'll jump in on the short. I never try to build a short, the bet that it tucks back in. I'll take the bet on the confirmation of the downside. What's up? Oh, consistent. Thank you for the 1 month. Good morning, guys. You love the ice chewing? Should I do it louder, like in the mic? I'm just kidding. All right. And we're off to the races. Let's get it. All right, so we have any impact line today? Double check this while we're waiting. This is a bull pivot off of the actual green line. There is one can take a pivot there if they wanted to. I am not going to take a trade here. I'm going to watch this. It is the long pivot and short pivot at the same time. Whichever one you are, that's the place to make the bet on. The most appropriate bet is to long from here. It's more probable that the bull side stays bullish. Our maps are about to come in just a second. Okay, this is the same setup we had yesterday. It's a long at the open. But I don't think I want to take it. So long right out the door with positive res. Things are good. And this is 2480, 30. Oh, wow, this is really big. Okay, 2480 plus 2990. It's 51 points lower. It's about, right now here, about 50. Really? Wait a minute. Oh, sorry, that's QQQ. Okay. That's not 50 points in the S&P. S&P, same stuff. We have A+ setups down at the bottom. Whether one wants to, like, if I were to long this, there's a long setup from here. But if it does pull back in here, we've got A+ setup here, A+ setup here. That's really the better setup I want to wait for, instead of picking up a few pennies to trickle higher. I can take a few micros off the top here, but let me let this, you know, simmer down a little. The 1A trade is always a good long, so chasing the long here, not a bad idea. Yeah, but after yesterday, I kind of want to wait for an A+. Okay, this is 598.6, 593.7. That is 50 points. Really? Oh yeah, we did close really low, huh? Okay, yeah, that is 50 points lower. Okay. I'm gonna wait for the dip though. 93.8, 598.6. 48. 54. Right in the middle there. Bull zone bottom is going to be right about here. Same spot. So you got bulls on bottom at the same place. Oops. Oops. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, long out the door is the perfect trade setup. I really don't have anything I'm going to do on this one. I think I'm going to wait. With yesterday's weird selling, I really can't explain what was going on. So I'm not going to chase this. I'm going to let this pull back and see if I can't find any good setups off of my stronger A+ pivots. And if I miss out on the market trickling higher, it's fine. By the end of the day, I'll probably get a good opportunity. So the setups here, longing right here out the door, is 1A trade. You've got DD band support. You have the ratio is really bullish, which is good for a small trade only to long. But again, I don't like picking up pennies in front of a steamroller the way I say it. I very rarely will chase these breakout longs like this that go outside of the green bands. Instead, I'll wait to see if the market does pull inside of them. But it doesn't mean I short it. If it does lose the band with any kind of velocity, it can fall pretty quickly to these pivots. So when I draw 3 lines, 1, 2, 3 means if it breaks, not it's going to short. If it breaks down to here, and then on the rip side back up, there's a play right here. These are going to be your good trades if you want them. This might just be like trickle up higher, you know, maybe 10, maybe 15 points. And the question with these kind of things is we never really know how long it's going to go until it pulls back. So we don't like to fade it. So this is bears on top, and S&P and Nasdaq are the same. So let's let it pull back. Let's see if we get a pullback. So today's end of the day is up. Today won't be down in here. Anywhere inside of here, there's pivots there. There's pivots there. They're all great pivots. This for less R&R, but to not miss out on the day. I don't like that feeling of missing it. Don't care if I miss out or not. And then these are your A+ pivots here. 81, 71. Those are both solid. Resilience is nice and strong, so we have resilience as confluence there. So that's it. They're all good. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Don't forget to hit the like button, friends. We got approved to give even more Tradeify accounts away, and I'm going to buy even more accounts. We're going to start doing this thing. If we get our viewers to 1,000, I'm going to make a commitment to you guys. If we get our concurrent viewers to 1,000, we get like 800 to 900. Okay. We've got 800 to 900 as max. We kind of have averaged at like 700 for the last, for like, you know, for a while. If we get to 1,000, I promise I will give out a funded Tradeify account every day. One, not to mention the other fundeds I always give out everywhere else. So, let me see how much that's going to cost me, but I'll go out and buy them to do one every day. That's my goal. If we get to 1,000, I'll buy one every day now, one extra every day. We already get so many to give away. If I were to do, so I'll go buy 20 more accounts to give away on top of what we already do, which is 15. So that would be, well, they give us 15. So if I were to do the straight to funded, it's just about $250 an account for the 25s. And is the 25 any good though? It would do the, yeah, the 25 is pretty good. So I'll spend $2,500 a month on you guys. Every day. Every day we hit 1,000 viewers, I will give away a Tradeify funded. I'll make that the theme of the show. So. All right, so the ties, hold on, it was long from yesterday. That's pretty dope. I don't know how far up you're going to go, but let's try to find exit targets on the upside. Let me just clean that up really quick. Like I said, no fading this. We don't fade this at all. I might just miss out on the move. Actually, the S&P has moved much further than the Nasdaq has. It's interesting to see that. Upside pivots. I don't know if we have any nearby. We do have red lines up here. 60.83, 61.33, and Nasdaq has that same area, 9.42 to go into. What a weird day. Yeah, and even on positive tariff news, right? So green line support was good for about 15 points of move on the S&P. Nasdaq kind of the same thing. Similar boat. Is that right? Yeah, that is right. So the difference on QQQ, I usually avoid taking these kind of trade, even though it can bust straight up. It's not a really A+ setup to jump in and chase, but it is not really a place to fade either. As I said this morning, the right kind of trade is to take the long at the open. I just chose to sit out. 24.80, 30, 5.2 times 4, 208, 208. $590. I'm just redrawing the redistribution zone here. Yeah, I'm gonna eyeball it. Probably the middle is about there. Yeah, no fading bull markets, right? When the DD ratio is greater than half, which is showing you the stocks are bullish, there is zero shorting. I literally write the word no shorting on the cheat sheet above the green line. Never short it. Never fade this. That's a good rule of thumb. That's investment advice for you, but that's Matt never shorts that. Never, 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 never. Perfectly flat. No trades overnight. No trades today. Nothing. And what tends to happen is that curvature that's moving this way just implies there's a short squeeze. So the market is moving up. So I don't have any trades yet. Not making any trades yet. I'm waiting for better setups. Yeah, be smart about this. Anything coming out today? So no more news coming out today. It's gonna be a quiet day. No earnings today. That's gonna move the market. Nothing. Keep my my juice open here to see if we get any kind of Trump-related tariff talk to end up the week. So in days like this, it could be like, can we get some crazy news that kicks us lower? I don't think it's going to happen. But as we're trading along, this might happen. This will push maybe down to here. And inside of here, we may get another option to take along. So I was waiting for at least NASDAQ at the open to come closer to the entry point. S&P was there, but NASDAQ wasn't. It would be nice if there's any kind of like sense of fading to kind of get down in here to get a dip to buy. But yeah, this is like, okay, where's the dip to buy? And it's looking clean. NASDAQ still retracing most of yesterday's down move. This was just weird yesterday for those of you. Some kind of insiders jumping out or something. Who knows what was going on there, but some definitely hot news is needed, yeah. Yep, nice open scalp. Green line open. Pretty good. Welcome to the stream, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button really quick. We'll be doing giveaways like we do every single day on the stream. Hold on. Upper resistance targets today. 21,942 on NASDAQ is way up at the top here. I don't think I have that one on here. Red line. Okay, I haven't made a trade yet. That gives about 100 points of run on the NASDAQ. My muscle memory keeps wanting to find my watch list on there. Remember I told you guys we don't short off a green band? Now you see why. Hope you all learned something from that. I'm just marking up this area here. 6083 is the next resistance over here. Or 56. Okay, that one. Then 6083. Tell you, we don't fade this, right? It's really strong. I didn't jump in on it either, but I'm known to like sit out of these TD band breaks most of the time. So S&P has nothing in the way. Guys, anybody in a trade right now? Anybody long out the door? Hopefully nobody, I can tell you guys what to do, but hopefully nobody's caught in a short here. We have that reason, that rule for a reason. In case you didn't come to the boot camp. And if you guys did join the boot camp, by the way, we are almost at the end of it. So if you're joining late, hang in there because the boot camp is starting over and we always start over from the beginning. In the boot camp, we give you all these handouts that we talk about. These bands are particularly important. This is one thing in futures. There's absolutely no shorting above the green band, never. This is what happens, right? You get squeezed pretty hard. Pretty good stuff. Long out the door. 21,896 target. Yeah, I'm with you there. Oh, yeah. I see what you're doing. Yep. Well, technical play there. So you're trading up inside of. I know you have a. Is it like a fair value gap or something? What do they call it? I need to learn the stuff, the ICT stuff. That looks like a closing the gap. Is that it? Am I learning? Am I learning ICT stuff? I'm trying to figure out because you guys, a lot of y'all use different techniques. This guy right here, basically that. Yeah, well, maybe on a higher time frame or something, but yeah, look at that. Maybe on the 15 or 5 minute or something. I'm getting smarter every day. So basically, you're looking for that, right? The bottom of that range. That's how the. I never even learned any of this stuff. I picked it up from watching you guys on Brian's stream. I'm absorbing ICT through osmosis from just being there. Yeah. It's not, there's not some like, it's not too dissimilar from our impact line philosophy. You know, our impact line is the market just moves and we look for that expansion of volatility that contracts and we give ourselves a red line. And the traditional world of, you know, ICT trading, what they will additionally do, and they have nothing to do with each other, but they're both similar in their same approach. The ICT will take this area and this area, and as long as this area holds, it's considered value, you know, momentum, right? And then of course, when this move is undone, it kind of like fills up the gap, right? With us, we'll have an impact line, which will be somewhere in here, and they're going to be similar or close to each other, but for the same reason. You're looking for proof of an imbalance that has moved the market to a new consolidating or liquid range. And so they're both two subjective views of doing pretty much the same thing. Yeah. The ice crunching. Can you guys hear that? Oh man, I'm so fidgety. That's what I'm doing. I'm crunching ice and being fidgety. Sorry about that, friends. By the way, it's everyone has like a million different ways of kind of seeing the same thing. And the tried and true thing is that when markets are consolidating, market's liquid and equal. And then when the market moves a certain distance, it's like pricing in a new step change. Maybe a bunch of stocks sold off or whatever. And everybody's understanding that somewhere in between here and here is going to be a pivot somewhere, or confirmation that you've lost that new move to the new liquidity, right? So everybody has a similar way to do it. 50 fibs would just measure like here are the different methods, right? 50 fib would measure the high to the low and then cut the middle, okay? ICT would measure the low, different color. And 50 fib will retrace to the middle. ICT will lose the move whenever it comes to here. With us, we're looking for this move to wherever the volatility expands, which would be down here. So everyone's measuring different things for different reasons. But in all essence, the understanding is when you move from here to there, somewhere in the middle is important. And they're not all too dissimilar from each other, which is kind of cool. Like an imbalance. Yeah, everybody is identifying the imbalance and then identifying the rebalance point. Yeah. The Apex does not have a minimum number of trading days, I don't think. It's been a while since I've done an Apex eval, but last I remember, they don't have a consistency rule. You can pass your Apex evals in 1 day, right? Still. Do I have any calls going? No. Is it still one trade? Okay. It's still one trade. Do I care about settlement price at all? Nope. Not important. Not important to futures traders. If you're trading index futures, not important. The settlement price is a calculation that is it's actually done by, they tally up the VWAP of the last 30 seconds of trading in S&P. It is 3:14:30 to 3:15, I think is what they do. I think it's the last, hold on, wait, actually. It's like a 15 or 30 second period towards the end of trading that futures contract. They just take the VWAP of it. And that's going to be the price they settle the S&P at. And NASDAQ and S&P futures, settlement price is not really meaningful. It's just an arbitrary number. And commodities, settlement price is important because that's the price for the day. If you're trying to, buy actual oil with the contract, that's the price of the contract. If you're buying it once the futures market is closed, that is the price for the day. So when people are saying, what's the current price of barrel oil? You know how your gas prices change throughout the day? Imagine that kind of philosophy applied to buying a tanker full of oil. You have a contract that allows you to have oil at a certain price. It's usually given on the settlement price is what you'd actually buy the physical oil for. S&P and NASDAQ, the settlement price is meaningless. It doesn't mean anything because it's not a commodity. It's just a thing that they do, and it doesn't really mean anything. Yeah. But good question. In futures, commodities trading, it kind of means something if you really are kind of like tracking the underlying. But again, when you're trading the contracts off of your technicals or your charting, it won't have any effect. It won't be a target. It won't be a support. It won't be a resistance. It's a calculation. So it doesn't have any technical meaning. You're teaching economics 101, yeah. Trying to give you guys a little info if I can help y'all out. All right, guys, I'll give an announcement to make. We have kicked off our lifetime sale, which we've only historically have done on Black Fridays. This time around, we brought it back because there's so many people that have been saying, I love the program. I'd love to just buy the software outright, but $4,000 is too expensive. Does it ever come down in price? And I say, no, it doesn't, except for Black Friday. And to save you guys a year of monthly payments, we're now doing $1,500 off, which is the Black Friday sale. So if you want to buy the software outright instead of paying your monthly fee for it, it's pretty much what everybody ultimately ends up doing that likes the platform. You save a whole lot of money. The code is here. I'll type it really quick. Company decided that, you know, we had a huge influx of people that are like, I love the thing, but I don't want to pay $160 a month. Can I just buy the software? And then, you know, after a year of that, a little bit like a year and a half, you'll pay more than $2,500 anyways. So $2,500 for lifetime, which is it's just outright software purchase, just one-time payment. You don't have to pay anything else. And you get the Rock Scooter platform and all the tools and stuff that comes with it. That is live now. Here's the link. And it's only going to be live until Wednesday of next week. So all of you in monthly payment, y'all want to save yourself some money, buy the platform outright. There you go. Basically, the argument you guys had was, you know, I bought Ninja Trader and I bought all this. I just paid for it. Can't you have an option to pay for the software? I'm like, oh, here it is. I'm like, oh, that's a little expensive. Well, I'll wait till Black Friday. And then I'm like, okay, maybe we should do this. Then we're like, okay, let's do it. Okay, a little bit of a slight pullback here. Nasdaq is coming down just a little bit, but we are like way outside of these bands today. I don't have any trade to take except for off the band itself. S&P is just way far above. And remember, the reason we don't short outside of the bands, even though 96% of days will close below the green band, is because you don't know how high it's going to go until it finally pulls back in. Liquidity map has really solid pivots at the open and close. So here, here, and here is all pivoting. And your A+ setups are way down in here if the market does fall. But that'll pick up a whole lot of volatility. So I don't know if I'd want to take it even if it did fall. There used to be an underground futures market for weed crops. Oh, hell yeah. Like weed farmers hedging for droughts and stuff, or hedging for bad yields. That's kind of cool. Yeah, 2,500 was the base price 2 years ago, actually, as Leah said. Yeah, there was a long time ago where Rocket Scooter, when we had our old app, was 2,500 base price, and now it's gone up to 4,000. The demand is up. The company's bigger. Platform's bigger. There's more things in it. Hello, Trump. Trump entered the market. Let's see what he's going to say. A new Trump has entered the game. If inflation comes back, raise the rate to counter it. Truth Social. Oh, so he's like basically baiting and pressuring Powell by saying, you know, Powell's hesitation is inflation going up, and Trump is trying to claim that inflation is down. And he goes, if inflation comes back, raise the rate to counter it. Well, inflation is back. All the numbers indicate inflation is here and worse since the tariffs hit. And the projections are that it's going to go up to 5 and 6% this year. if the tariffs stay the course. So nothing new. Trump yelling at Powell. Powell probably just rolling his eyes. There is virtually no inflation anymore, but it should come back. Raise rates to counter. I like Trump. I like Trump a whole lot, but that is completely false. Absolutely false. What is he reading? The CPI? It's delayed data. You can't just like add tariffs now and then take the data point that comes out now and say, look, there's no inflation. Like the next 2, 3, 4 months, I mean, you know, you got mathematicians over there in the Fed. They know, they understand the projections. Everything's cost is going to go up with the tariffs. I don't think Trump thinks that inflation's not going to happen. I don't get it. Eggs. Have you seen Eggs? Have you heard about Eggs? Love Trump to death. I love that he's a fighter. I love that he's a warrior. I love he's a businessman. But sometimes he just spends garbage. He's got old man syndrome. He just tells tall tales. There's virtually no inflation anymore. Inflation was virtually no more at the end of last year, and inflation's actually crawling back ferociously right now. Did you know what's that? There's that app that you can make a bet on anything, and was it the K? And you can bet on anything, right? And there's a bet that's going on right now that will Costco ever raise its $1.50 hot dog. Kashi, is that what it is? Yeah. Kalshi. Would you ever take that bet? Will Costco ever raise its price on the hot dog? I mean, what they call it, a loss lead. Is that the name of it in business? A loss lead item, right? Like it's designed to bring people in the door, not to make money. You lose on purpose. Loss leader. Loss leader, that's the word, yeah. So like their hot dog is a loss leader. It's designed just to bring people in the door, to lose money, to bring the customer in for other things. So maybe they'll never raise their prices, right? Just like bananas in a supermarket. Did you know, fun trivia fact about bananas, bananas, right? Whenever you eat banana candy, like a banana runt or something like that, it always has like a really distinct flavor. And then when you eat a real banana in the store, it doesn't taste the same. Like bananas are a little more sour. They're not as like sweet and banana flavored. So it's because when our parents were kids, bananas tasted like that. It was a different strain of bananas. And they started making these, I think they're called Cavendish or whatever. The new bananas that they have now are different and they taste different. And so we got snuck in a different variety of bananas at some point because they're more resistant to pests and whatever. But believe it or not, when our parents were kids, the other variety of bananas they had tasted like banana candy. By the way, the chemical that was that they had the banana flavor was actually very prominent in the other bananas. You understand what I'm saying? Can't we get the right bananas? I just want to say that. You don't look at bananas the same since you fell on one, bro. You know, when you guys, you have to be a little more careful when you're having your gangbangs, you know, put the bananas pointy side down on the table. Those bananas still exist with very little production. I've always wanted to taste one just to see if it's any good. He got Mario Karted in real life, LOL. Demonetized. The little midget bananas taste great. Yeah, like the tiny ones, right? All right, let's see what happens in this first pullback. S&P 6,000 is that key level for the most part. NASDAQ here, key level is 732. Question is, do I even want to trade anything here? After yesterday's selling, I don't know if I really care to do anything but wait for my A+. Yesterday was hinting at something, and I don't know what it is, but I think I'm going to play it safe today. Let's just do a giveaway. No, we could. So no shorting here. So I really have nothing to do from this area. I need my A plus setup on moves that go outside of DD bands this much. I need to get myself a good A plus setup here. I don't really have much to trade off of. And yesterday's selling again. People were ready to leave the market for some reason. I don't know what it is, but no clue. Yeah, look at ES. Yeah, ES has moved up the most. Nasdaq has moved the least. Everyone's first inclination would probably be like, I want to fade this. I promise you, I never, ever, ever, ever fade moves outside of the band. Never. I think I have allergies, man. My nose is gonna get stuffy. Okay. Oh shoot, where's this? So hang tight, guys. We'll find some good setups today for sure. Rather wait all day for good entry? Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all want to sit here and have me crunch ice? So there's an announcement. The watch list has been moved to the right side panel. Look where I'm clicking on my screen. They kind of made a mistake. Instead of putting it below, it's going to be tonight when they update. There's going to be a little bin underneath here that'll say WL. It's going to open up your watch list off to the right. You see that right here? It's at the top. They put it here on accident. That's to give you more space, right? When you set the watch list down here, the watch list just took up a little tiny corner and there's all this blank space and it would shrink your charts. It's a quality of life improvement to have watch lists off to the right, which makes a little bit more sense. Yeah. Hopefully you guys like it like that. Like it's kind of better. So I'm going to be waiting for A+ setups before I do anything and all you guys. It's kind of chilling on this. Waiting for a little bit of a pullback here before I do anything. We'll just hang tight, guys. We'll come up with some things to talk about in a little bit. But I'd like to see the band tap at least today. This is gonna be my first. I would say the first pivot I do want to see is what happens at that band. That's always a good strong long entry point. Nasdaq is probably gonna be the first to touch. The S&P. Well, actually, let's see. S&P is probably gonna be first to touch. So when we get there, it might take a long. Waiting for that little pullback there to jump on in and grab myself along if I can get it. Looks like Nvidia is holding below monthly map. Yeah, could be a sign. Kind of like a bigger issue below, or say below MHP on liquidity map, right? MHP itself is resistant, so as Nvidia and other stocks have gapped up, it needs to pick up some momentum to sustain this going higher, right? Trump was on a rant this morning. He's a little pissy since the Elon stuff fell apart. Ever look at oil? Not that much anymore. I used to be an oil trader when I first started doing futures. That's I spend most of my time trading oil. But I haven't really like dabbled much in oil lately. There's really not a lot. I guess when it comes to oil, there's really not a lot of belief that oil is going to rally anymore. I think oil prices are doomed to go down to 40 to 60 bucks pretty much forever from here. And I think oil just has no real reason to be kind of like traded as much. It's just kind of in perpetual decline. Mostly because like adjusted for inflation, that's the normal price of oil is like $25 a barrel. It's been elevated since the Gulf Wars in the early, the 90s and then the 2000s. Afghanistan and Iraq made it go up, and then shortages made it go up. But other than that, and then high inflation made it go up because it was a good trade around COVID. But other than that, oil's just been like in a perpetual decline, and it's going to be that way just because the nature of oil, demand is there's more competition. That's going to always bring prices down. There's more people selling in the global market, including us. A lot of big producing countries out there. And so it's just like an undercut world we live in. So it's not going to really be much of a growth asset, I would say, as time goes by. Yeah. On ES, would I consider a long off the top of the box? I would. I very much would. My muscle memory still wants to keep like freaking clicking lower so I could open up the damn watch list. Haven't made any trades at you guys. I'm still waiting for something good. It would be nice if we did get a pullback, but nothing yet. How bad does DD band work for CL futures? It's the same for all futures. It's really good. It's considered, we don't have backtest results on it, but they're all very similar. The equation's the same. CME group sets all the margin requirements. It'll be the same effect. Resilience is not in any kind of decay, decline slightly, but nothing bad about resilience yet. I think that in a little bit, unless we get some momentum off of NVIDIA, I do think we probably flush down to upper band. Some stocks are starting to lose that momentum now. I wouldn't be short, like I said, I wouldn't be shorting this, but I do feel like today this is going to be a pullback. I don't know why, I just feel it. I'm not in the long, I'm not anything, so this could pull back to roughly here. If anything, the open is going to try to support if res is greater than 0, which is here. Well, let me pick a color, it's easier to see. Here. As you see, resilience is this line right here. Totally fine. Pivots are good from here. Pivots are good from here. Any kind of trading today? All of that's pretty good. Sorry, I'm coughing ice again. Like nervous habit or something. I don't know, man. I fidget a lot. I'm always like crunching or moving around or something. I have like Tourette's though. You guys may not notice it, but I'm a little ticky and twitchy and fidgety. I do have a mild case of Tourette's. I don't have the kind that randomly blurts like horrible cuss words or comments, but I do whisper under my breath sometimes as a tick. I'm always fidgeting with shit. You chew ice all the time? Yeah. And it's genetic. I feel like my son has a mild case of it too. He ticks his eyes a lot. He like does this. He looks up. I'm like, oh, just like his dad. No more DCA. Wait, what? Wait, ETF is no more DCA rule? Let's hold the fort here. No more DCAing on the ETF accounts. That's really cool. You guys are changing your rules for the better when most firms are out there changing the rules for the worse. This is cool to hear. I love to hear that. Most firms are like tightening, so that's good to see you guys offering up some better stuff. I love the idea. Can you post something? I'll talk about it. Can you DM me, send me something? I saw it, but I want, if you can send me the Twitter again, so I can have to go find it. That's awesome. But yeah, so if you guys want to see something crazy, look at my finger. Watch. Let me see if you can see the difference between my two fingers here. Nidoc always says she loves my fucked up finger. Look at this one right here. I'm holding both of my fingers straight. Do you guys see a difference? Like this is a normal finger, right? This one's all warped and fucked up for whatever reason. It's like it goes up. It's crooked. Like it doesn't straighten. It's just like. And this is because of gaming. For years of gaming, I hold a mouse like this, and I would just constantly like twitch my finger for like 40 fucking years, and then my finger is naturally crooked. Look at this. This is from a decade of gaming. Look, isn't that crazy, right? This isn't normal. Look at this one right here. This one. They all open up and this one folds in. I'm gonna fold it in a little bit. You see how it points the other direction? So I could never be a hand. Well, maybe I could be a hand model. You can't really tell, but that's years of holding a gaming mouse like this while I trade. I mean, while I trade, but also while I game. Just passed 150K Eve in the day. Nice. Okay, Kaizen, if you send that to me, let me see if I got it from you, bud. Can you DM me? I'd love to take a look at it while we're waiting. Here we go. Thank you, bud. I got it. I found it. So ETF is like really pushing hard. They've revamped their programs. They revamped their accounts. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. I've been meeting with them a lot, just offering our ideas and your ideas. And they actually are doing a lot of cool stuff. Okay. Starting Monday the 9th, ETF. And again, we're in the era where prop firms are changing their rules to make it harder for traders, right? They're making it harder for traders to pass. Apex is cracking down. It's very rare that you hear somebody opening the doors, right, to make it easier again for y'all. That's kind of cool. I really respect that and the hard work you guys are putting into that. All right. Lifting restrictions on no limitations on contract size scaling. No, you can high frequency trade all you want. DCA to your heart's content. No martingale restrictions. So no, like, you know, interview you at Apex after you start making money because you're martingale your accounts or whatever. You can activate up to 5 of the fast track accounts. So their fast track accounts is a if you guys know, if you want a comparison, the Apex end of the day trailing drawdown account, your typical Apex account, they have one called One Step, which is their competitor in that realm. The fast track is a 1 step with a time limit. If you can pass it within a certain amount of time, then you win. Same rules. It's just a little more expensive. I'm sorry, it's a little cheaper than the 1 step, or what you guys all, you know, is the Apex style account. Trailing drawdown is cheap. Fast track is cheaper, but there's a time limit. That's kind of like the plus the min max on that one. So if you can pass it fast enough, you can get away with it a little bit cheaper than the regular 1 steps they have. No more payout denials due to listed rules above, which is cool. A little bit easier. If they don't pay you out, within 48 hours, you get a $1,000 bonus. There you go. That's nice. No payout delays is good. I love when there's a guarantee on that. Okay, other things. All in new elite sim funded accounts will get benefit from needing only 8 active trading days instead of 10 for the first payout cycle. That's kind of good. Is that also for the direct to funded? Because if that's in the direct to funded, Tradeify's is 10. If you guys are 8, that's a 1-up on Tradeify. You keep 100% of your profit. Okay. All right. Shit, guys. Like, this is really good. Okay. Exchange will increase our cut for live elite accounts. So a live elite is once you go live, by the way, not the sim funded. So remember, you have eval stage, sim funded stage, and then live elite stage. So live is where you get invited to trade live. The live elite, when you finally go live, they increase the split 80-20 when you go live. All of you are not live anywhere yet, probably. So it doesn't really apply to you. They're going to give you more money where you'll be paid out, which is your sim funded, which is what you really care about. And then as a result, when you go live, they'll take a little bit bigger split, which is totally cool. That's still competitive. Maximum blah, 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 blah. Okay, they have their smart growth plan, whereas when you go live, typically with a prop firm, they kind of like ban you from doing sim evals, right? And sim funded. These guys have ability for you to continue to sim fund. Remember when Top Step made that rule change? Once you went live, you couldn't trade your XFAs anymore. ETF has like a rehabilitation plan where you don't get banned once you go live, which is what happened to me. I went live and I'm banned from the sim funded world. So now I can actually get back into that and keep buying evals and keep playing the game, which is kind of cool. This is their smart growth plan they have. So it allows you to keep going back to the evals once you go live. And if you go live and bust, or you go live and you still want to keep doing it, they've got a thing for it. This is pretty dope. This is good, Kaizen, man. I'm really it took him a while. I love this, man. He did a good job with you guys. All right. 5 days to pay out for all other elite sim funded accounts. So that's like future thoughts, a 5-day payout cycle. That's pretty nice. That's competitive with Funded Next. So 5 days is what these guys do. Very cool. You guys are hitting the big straight on with a lot of these rules and beating them. This is pretty nice. New website with a better product selection. Thank God. Not to say anything about it. I love you guys so much, but the website is the one thing that I know needs. So the difference with ETF and other companies is that every company has like their flavor of accounts, right? My Funded Futures, we know, is the end of the day drawdown. Funded Next, end of the day drawdown. Top Steps, the trailing drawdown. Futures desk is a static, and at the end of the day, everyone has their own style of account. ETF is the company that's like, we're gonna have one of everything. So they have one of each type of account, which is different than most firms. They have a bigger product spread. We know Tradeify has the advanced, which is like the Apex account. They have the growth, which is like the ETF account. Then they have the direct to funded. And ETF has one of every type of account. Static. They have a static account. They have an Apex account. They have an Apex account with a timer. They have a direct to funded. They have an end of the day drawdown. So they have one of everything. So the website's a little like challenging to teach people about that many different products, because you have a lot to choose from, right? So I'm very glad that you guys recognize that the website is going to become a slightly different design. It's needed it, right? Nice. Pull back, pull back. Those are great rule change, dude. Really good rule changes. I'm actually, Ty, but check it out though. The static, but look, they have discounts sometimes, right? Our code gets a discount. So I don't know what our discount is right now. But look at the drawdown that's static, Tyler. Look at the drawdown and then come back and tell me again. Right? This is the difference. The drawdown, the static drawdown limit, it's massive. You basically just get a fat buffer out the door. Right? That's the plus side to it. So compared to like if you compare on drawdown that you get with let's see, Apex, the cost of drawdown and the static is let me double check the price with Apex, and Apex 137 for 625. Apex is 137 for 625. Drawdown. So it's roughly a value of 5, and that's without a sale, right? And then of course you have the activation fee. This is 2,000 for, and then I don't know what our discount is going to. Kaiser, you know what our discount gives us for that? Last I did the calculation, it was like double Apex after the discount. Still 50% off. Yeah. So we're really 220 for 2,000 drawdown. So do the math there, bud. And that's where it's like, okay. So Apex, and I don't know how much we're getting off with the Apex. Now they might have the 80% off sales. Sometimes maybe not. But 220 bucks for a $2,000 drawdown. That's where it's kind of nice, and it's static. So then it gets good. All right, now we're at the strong pivot. Should I take a long at DD band? We had a large. Okay. Let's see Nasdaq really quick. See, I told you guys, patience, 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 patience. S&P off the upper band. So my code is 50% off, right? I think I need to change my little ad here. Well, no, you have to remember though, right? Prop firms sometimes, you know, they'll have rules and they have to enforce their rules, but they're changing their rules. Like whatever a prop firm does, like a lot of the guys that work at ETF used to work for me. That's why I like them. Two of the guys that work there used to work for Rocket Scooter. Their community manager used to be my community manager. So it's a good batch of people, and they just had rules that they were enforcing. You know, you can deny payouts for certain reasons, but the reasons are stated and clearly stated, right? They're now trying to lessen the rules. And so like a prop firm, you know, will sometimes have tighter rules and lesser rules. In the future, they're changing everything that was different than what they did in the past. So hopefully this time around, you know, these guys are making a big change. I like seeing it. By the way, I'm not paid by them, FYI. So there is zero. I'm not on the payroll. I don't get a paycheck. Nothing. I'm just a standard affiliate. So this is my own personal opinion. I've always supported them because I've liked the idea of having multiple types of accounts, and I like to be able to work there. So just FYI. So I get 50% off, no promo on statics, but I get 90% off on the other stuff. So I have a 90% off sale. Okay, cool. But just FYI, I would disclose if they were paying me to say this. They're not. This is my honest opinion. They actually don't pay me anything. Damn it. But I've always supported them. For no reason other than I like them. Is top one good? No. No. Avoid top one at all costs. They're showing multiple red flags on top of each other. Go to Tradeify instead. Or ETF if you want the direct to funded. Top one has burnt way too many bridges with me. Not personally, but with my my sleuthing of things I require firms to do. Too many retroactive rule changes. They tell their customers deal with it or get a refund. Put in all your work. They banned Brett Simba for his open commentary on Twitter. They didn't like what he said, so they banned him from trading. Just once you start silencing your customers, that's it for me. I would tell you guys avoid the plague and heed my warning. Top one entered the door quick with the multi-level marketing kind of plan, having influencers try to rope in other influencers into a downline, and they got big traction on that. And then they started throwing rule changes retroactively, making it tighter, telling people, sorry about your month of hard work, but screw you. If you don't like it, you can get a refund. I didn't like it because I had here's what I found to be kind of disrespectful. Normally a firm will approach you, like the owner of the firm or whatever. They'll come up and say hey, we love what you do. We'd love to work with you. Let's sit down. We'd love to have a meeting and share with you what you have. They didn't reach out like that. You know who reached out to me? Some freaking middle tier douchebag influencer with 600 followers messaging me. Hey, bro, we need to get you on this, bro. Oh, it's gonna be the next big thing, bro. And they said bro one too many fucking times. It put a sour taste in my mouth from the beginning. I want you, don't bro at me, bro. 50 times bigger than you. Don't rope me into your fucking downline, kid. Seriously. The owner didn't reach out and say hey, let's have a sit down. Let's show you the products. Bro, you got to get in on this. I'm like, who are you? Why are you in my DMs? For real, bro. And I was like, I don't know if I want to work for you, bro, but bruh, I'm not your bruh, bro. Anyways, it didn't seem super professional to me out the door. So I was like, sure, give me an affiliate code, but I don't really care. I never made a sale with them. But, well, best of luck to them, though. I'm not your brother, guy. Bro, you got to get in on this. I'm like, who are you? What? Yeah, man. It's we can recruit together. We can both pull people. I'm just like, no, man. I'm not bringing people to your timeshare meetings, bro. Come on. Leave it alone. I'm not your guy, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy. Nope. So anyways, you normally would have somebody, reach out and say, Brett was very professional about it. ETFs are professional. They, hey, Matt, we'd love to sit down with you. We'd love to show our new products. Check it out. Tell me what you think. We'd love to get your feedback. I'm like, God, that sounds so professional, right? Bro, this is the next big hot thing. You got to get in on it. And I'm just like, do I? Yeah, dude, we'll make a killing, bro. Who are you? So anyways, best of luck to them, but the whole influencer multi-level schemey kind of thing was I get it. That's a great way to market. No, nothing against them. That's a smart way to market, I guess. But a lot of the bigger names out there also found it disrespectful. They were kind of laughing behind the scenes. They were messaging. I was talking to somebody, another person out there is pretty really big, was yeah, look at this clown who messaged me to try to get me to work for him. And then I was like, oh yeah, he messaged me too, kind of thing. And we're just this is not how the prop firm world works. Usually the owner is or somebody big in the company will reach out and say, hey, we'd love to have a meeting with you and your team. We can discuss co-marketing opportunities. Let's show you our new product lines. We have something we think would be great for your customers. And it just sounds professional, right? So it's a really good nod to like professionalism, and so I already was kind of iffy about him from the start. You got to get in on this, bro. I don't know. No, thank you. But best of luck to these guys. And I was kind of like, okay, I'll get a code in case people use them. But Tradeify, insanely better. Brett calls me bro every once in a while, but Brett and I have always been buddies and call each other bro because we're bros. We actually know each other. But jokes aside, they, in the similar sense, they're competing with Tradeify. And Tradeify's always treating me with respect. Everyone's always been respectful. They sit down, they listen to us, they take our feedback. It's a little bit better relationship, I think. But then once they started changing the rules on people, and I think if you do a big rule change, you should apply the rule going forward to new accounts and not retroactively. You put in a rule change that's retroactive, that everybody that's currently done all this hard work, you take it away from them, is very unfair to the customer. And it implies that you took too much risk, you didn't understand your risk model, and your company's threatening insolvency, so you got to screw over your customers to survive. It's a red flag. It just means you have a fucking idiot running your risk department, and that's not good for you guys investing your money. So that's why I tell you to avoid top one, because they're not smart enough to understand the risk of the industry they're in. They marketed too hard with too easy rules. They bait and switched people. And the last thing you want to be caught up is another fast track trading, because they have no gauge of the risk they're taking. And when you have a good prop firm out there, you want to make sure that they understand the risk they're taking and they're really rock solid with it. A rule change here and there is understandable. ETFs rule changes are actually for the better for the trader. They're actually taking a little more risk to make it easier for you to trade, which is good. You always want to see that. But and even Tradeify had a rule change early on, but I mean, it's sparingly and it's small, and it's not like it's like 3 sweeping changes back to back to back to like cut your risk because you took too much. So yeah. She's your guy, buddy. They call you Matt Summer. Which ETF is better, the 25 or the 50K? Well, there's a rule of thumb when it comes to what I consider better. And what you do is you compare all your plans side by side and you go look for, well, here it is. You look for a cost of drawdown after the sale. So this, you divide this by this. So 5,000 divided by, let's do the math really quick. Divided by 349 is 14. Cost of drawdown is always good if it's above 9. Pretty competitive, and that's 14 with the sale. It's really good. So 14 and then 2,500 divided by 299. Wait, hold on. Am I reading that right? That's an 8.3. Oh, well, good. So the scaling a lot better on the 50K. This is a 14 cost of drawdown, and I believe you guys have different rules for these two on payouts, right? This one, that's 14 and this one's 8. So you're going to spend a little bit more, but you're going to get a lot more to play with, right? And I think the payout cycle is different for, I can find the rules. The payout cycle was slightly different on the 50K than the 25K, if I remember correctly. Yep. So the 50K, not only do you get a better cost to drawdown ratio, but you also get bigger payout cycles. Like you get 5,000 each payout up to 20 cap, as opposed to the 25. It has smaller payout tiers. You get 1,000 after 10, then 2,000 after 10, then 3,000 after 10. Guys, and are you guys changing? Does the 5-day payout cycle that you have here for DTF as well, or no? The one that says 5 days, or I'm sorry, 8 days. Trying to learn all these. Is that for direct to funded? That's my last question, Fry. Well, Tradeify is the direct to funded is going to have a big cycle though, and that's to kind of like account for the fact you skip your eval. By comparison, Tradeify is 10 days. So direct to funded TD is always going to have big payout cycles. It's different than your other types of accounts because you can skip 5 or 10 days of eval to go straight to it. So that's kind of the trade-off there, right? Well, no, my question is on the payout cycle. Okay, let me read this really quick again. Hold on. 8 active trading days. Oh, okay. So the first payout cycle. Okay, so the payout cycles are the same. All right. So here's a rule of thumb that you guys know about other firms and just the general products. Your typical trailing drawdown account is not going to have it's not going to have payout cycles. Trailing drawdown or end of the day drawdown typically won't have big payout cycles. If they do, they're going to be like moderate. As a rule of thumb, and then straight to funded, the cycle, if there is one, because these are going to have eval stages to go with them, eval, no eval, then you're going to have fewer cycles. The same amount of time in market, but the trailing drawdowns, end of the day drawdowns might have a smaller cycle and a medium cycle and a longer cycle. It's just the nature of straight to funded. That's how they were able to invent straight to funded accounts, right? You immediately get paid from day one, but you got to stay in the game a little longer. But it's the same thing as having a 5-day eval and then a 5-day payout is a 10-day cycle anyways, right? So while it's kind of like not the, ideal for you, it's really ideal in general. On the surface, you're like, that sucks. But underneath it, it's like, okay, that's actually not that bad because I do get to skip the eval. In return, I got to babysit the account longer, which mimics a real account, right? The bigger account is a bigger cycle for bigger money, which I think is better. Compared to Tradeify is 10 days for $3,000 payouts. So 5 extra days for $5,000 each time is great. This is what I love about their program. They're really coming in competitive. And if you're a direct to funded account like I am, that's all I trade pretty much. That and the My Funded Expert there's only really 2 accounts I would touch: direct to funded, or end of the day drawdown. Payout cycles are important. It's great that I have $130,000 sitting there in Tradeify. It's not great that I can only take out $3,000 every 10 days. If I could take out $5,000 every 15 days, that's $10,000 every 30 versus $9,000 every 30 on Tradeify. So it's about the same, slightly better, right? But direct to funded programs are all going to kind of be like that in general. They're all going to have payout cycles, and that's the way that they can minimize their risk by letting you get funded out the door without the eval step, right? So every firm is going to give and is going to have to take. You're going to give a little, take a little to keep the risk in check, and that's just kind of expected. So 8 active trading days for a 15-day payout cycle for a $5,000 payout is pretty damn good. And at 20,000, they bump you to live, I guess. That's the rule. But I think at Top Step is good. They don't work with groups like us or affiliates like us or give out discounts, so I don't recommend them because we can't really give you a discount on it. And if you're going to trade Top Step, you might as well trade My Funded Futures and get a better deal on pretty much the same account, or Funded Next and get a better deal on the same account. And of course, ETF has a version of every account too, so they also have end of the day drawdown. They're all great. Nothing against Top Step's program at all. They're big for a reason. They're good. But I wish they'd give me an affiliate code or a discount for you guys, but they don't. So if you're leaning towards Top Step and you really want my opinion, go My Funded Expert. It's like known as the best in class on those end of the day drawdowns. Is similar to Top Step. No consistency rule on Expert. Top Step has a consistency rule on your eval side of 50%. My Funded Futures doesn't have that, and we get a sale. So it's better. You get a discount. Do I think NQ will go down to 96% area? Yeah, probably. I mean, that's crappy, but I'd happily accept $1 million over the next 3 years. Right? 1,000 trade days, take out $1 million payout. Well, no, hold on. No, on the direct to funded, that's not how it works. So direct to funded, as soon as you get a certain amount of payments from them, then they move you to live and you get an unbound live trading account. So it's not like you're in that straight to funded. Let me clarify a little bit. With Tradeify, it's the same deal. It's 10 days for $3,000 payouts, but at a certain point, Brett will give me a $20,000 live trading account per account that I have. So at that point, there's no caps. There's no payout windows. It's you basically keep whatever you get and pay out every day if you want on your direct to funded, I think, or your live account. I think Tradeify is daily payouts on live. Like My Funded Futures, daily payouts on live. ETF, daily payouts on live. So, and you're not limited by windows or anything like that. So when you go live, it's just a real trading account at that point. So Yeah. If you were in the direct to funded forever, yeah, you wouldn't want to make a you know, $3,000, $5,000 salary twice a month. You know, that's just the direct to funded, sim funded stage. And then when you pass all of that and you can't payout, you go to live. Like, you guys watch Pat Wieland is live at Tradeify as well. He did the payout game, and I'm still making the payout. I'm still in the payout game myself. But once you get through so many payout cycles, he started way before me. Then they moved me to live, and now he's up $160,000 in live account of his own money. I'm up $130,000 in the sim funded account that I can only withdraw every 10 days, a little bit of it. So I hit the thresholds, and then he's going to push me to live. So direct to funded is like a whole different kind of game. Forcing payouts that you grow it. Well, you have to think about it. Yes, and that's the whole point to go to live. Once you finally go to live, then they get you there. But that just shows you have consistency and that you've traded a certain amount of days, you maintain the account, and it's a risk lowering step as well. It prevents traders from, you know, paying for a live account and arbitrage YOLO trading and getting a $50,000 payout on day one kind of thing. So if you want my opinion, direct to funded or straight to funded is by far the best trading experience you're going to have. That's going to simulate real trading. It's going to be moderate timed payouts, but it doesn't matter. Your goal is to go live. Your goal is not to sit in sim funded. You're not going to try to rack up a balance at Apex and take a huge payout. That's not really what your goal is as a trader. Your goal is to make your own money and trade on your own. And the direct to funded is just a way to prepare you for that next step. When you go from direct to funded to real account, even your own account, the transition is so neat and easy and clean. The strategies that you employ, like for $1 million payout with Apex, won't apply in a real trading account. You go to a real trading account and you'll get your ass handed to you, right? I haven't found a good trade yet. I could have longed at the open, but I still don't like the idea that resilience is pulling back a little bit. I'd like to see more of a stronger pivot close to the DD bands to take a long off of. And Nasdaq pivoted a little shy. When I was waiting for it to hit, it just kind of came up and never hit it. I need to get, when it comes to long trades out the door, the strong pivots that I do take, I'm very particular and picky about them. DD band top open. The open is not a strong pivot. While it did pivot, it's not a strong one. I don't take it. Out the door, if you look over here off to the side, I will long only at the green line itself with a small position, no shorting. There's a reason we don't short. And then I will long off of monthly hedge pressure, bears and top, bulls on bottom only. While you can pivot off of the open price at any point in time because the liquidity maps always have that open 1A trade, it's not really a high probable setup. It's more of a coin flip. So I don't normally take it because it's not A+. You can always trade off of the open price though, when res is greater than 0. It's considered slightly better than a coin flip, basically 60% maybe. I just have better, stronger pivots down here that I like to wait for, and you'll see me do that all the time. Markets are trickling higher, not really doing much. I got to pivot from here. I got to pivot from here. They're both good. And I also got to pivot off the band itself. So I'm going to wait. And this is where trading gets kind of fun because sometimes you just got to, like, you know, kill time and wait for something good. Yesterday's market behavior was a little, I can't really explain what happened. The volatility picked up once we bounced off of the triple B, which is the first thing that we noticed at the start of the day. And we're back there again. So this action was just spontaneous volatility hedging. You see that a lot. We know that the triple B is a big pivot point on the VIX futures. And once we hit it, volatility just started picking up and the VVIX started rapidly going higher. I don't know what insiders were hedging against or what they were doing, but people were like freaking out and the VVIX was rising. So because of that, the index started becoming spontaneously more and more and more volatile. Volatile means V's. So bigger V, bigger V, bigger V as VVIX was going up and VIX was getting bigger V's itself. So the way that it works is bigger V's in the S&P means VIX is going up. Okay. When VIX goes up, the V's get bigger. Then when VIX itself is choppy with bigger V's, then the volatility of the VIX. So volatility of the S&P is the VIX. The volatility of the VIX is the VVIX. And the VVIX is going up because the VIX itself is becoming more volatile, which means the S&P is becoming exponentially more volatile, which means the lows are curving lower. So it's like you might fall 5 and then 10 and then 20, right? It's not a linear fall. It's actually exponential. So this is a volatility thing. I don't know what caused it, but it's clear to see that the volatility was just getting bigger. And the market was just basically trending lower. I would say off of, ADP numbers were bad. I think people are expecting that the non-farms are going to be bad. And I think Wall Street was just liquidating at a high just to kind of get out of the way in case non-farms shit the bed. Or, Trump and Elon falling out. And maybe there's some other things that triggered people believing that something was going to be selling off. And a lot of the tech stocks had lost key levels and were also selling too. But days like this, whatever it was, the market was just trying to gently price lower. While it's still very bullish, there were still people buying every dip, but the algorithms are just trying to price things lower. And what usually causes that is that there are people just so long or hedging long in the index, despite the stocks pulling back, that maybe just like 90% of the stocks were doing great and tech was doing bad. So this needed to price lower, but there were people just rotating into all kind of other stuff while tech was selling off, which the tech stocks were the ones that weren't that great yesterday. And I think that's probably what happened. A lot of rotation. This is lack of liquidity, and it was exponentially volatile. So it was just a thin, light trading day with a lot of rotation that needed to price lower because overall the tech stocks were selling. And I think that's really what caused yesterday. And then, preemptive non-farm payroll liquidation, I'd say. I can't find a single node. Again, these are all speculation. I don't have a single node or freaking catalyst, the rise of the V, right? But stocks like NVIDIA were just pricing lower. And a lot of the big tech stocks were doing the same thing yesterday. Or just chopping around. Microsoft actually did better. Apple did the same thing, right? Apple just selling off. Amazon selling off, right? Tesla collapsing out. So you had a lot of bad things happening in a couple of big stocks. And the rest of the market was a little healthier. And I think that's just all you saw was the residual of that. But there was nothing specifically yesterday that sparked anything like this. Are we chopping around? Yeah, we are kind of chopping around, I'd say. So back to today's setup. We need to see if there's anything good to trade off of. I would love to see lower DD band bounce, to be honest. I'm going to get this Nasdaq here. I haven't done I haven't made any trades in my funded futures today. Nothing. Just waiting. Right. Ideally, good spot here and good spot here to trade off of. Losing green band is always where that fade comes from. I never fade it though. Inside of here, my goal is always to look for longs. In here, a bear confirmation short is always on that green line reclaim to next target, which you do have. Your next target is not far from there. This half gap and bears on bottom. So bear setups could be somewhere inside of here. Normally, if like relative to where S&P is, let me give you guys some setups here. If you were to say, Matt, pick a direction, I would always pick up whenever you are outside of these green bands to the top. The green line on the S&P is about here. And there is always support off of this, and there's always support off of this. The confirmation on fading is if you break this. If you break this, the fade goes to strong pivots, which is here and here. You might get lucky to get that on a fade. That's a really good R&R for like a 30-point dip in the S&P if it does fade, but you need to cross through this key level to do that. I don't ever bet that that happens. I never get in early. If we break through green, I'd be loving to take a short if it does. There's about 30 points of drop. And then I have my strong pivots here and my strong pivots here to trade off of. So today, guys, you got, this is as much as you hate that there's nothing to do right now, this is by far one of the best setups you can get because it's so easy to trade this day. It's gonna be absolutely easy to trade. So all NASDAQ looks exactly the same. You have basically long scalp pivots from that green line off to the left. And then if you break through that with any kind of force, it's a short down to those key pivots there. 3-to-1 trade on the downside, 3-to-1 trade on the upside. So, and the VVIX is high and the VIX is high itself. You might be able to get that kind of flush volatility, or just wait because at some point Trump will probably tweet something. You never know. Tape is getting bearish. R&R is good from here. The problem on this kind of momentum is that the pressure is always floating away from here. I always miss this part of the move to jump in at the right part of the move. And so because we never know how high it's going to go before it fades out, I don't usually like to be in a short betting that it falls, even though the pressure is definitely looking less good on the long side. I wait for the confirmation and then I jump in. I never short a bull market if I can help it. So that's why I have that no shorting rule. But yeah, Gamma's right. The flow is looking bad. The pressure is looking bad, but these are the setups. I mean, they're clear as day. So you got rock solid pivots to play with today. Totally good. Oh yeah, speaking of payout, I think one of my Tradeifys, I even forgot to look yesterday. I think 1 or 2 of my Tradeify accounts are a qualifier for a payout. I was going to look yesterday, but then their website was down. I actually never got around to looking. How much further? Oh, no. 28% consistency. Damn it. I got to trade a little bit further then. I could have sworn I thought one of them was ready for payout. I got to make like a couple more $1,000 then. Okay, fine. 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 if I were to take a trade, I could just take a long if I were to take anything. Uh, 942 on NASDAQ is the level, the upper red line. It keeps going. S&P is 6083. Okay. And that's way out of bounds. There's a yellow line up there. Yeah, I mean, these are, like, I'm not going to lie. This can end up here today. So I don't fade it. We don't short outside of these green lines, but let's just see if we get anything good. Any dip to here, I'd be willing to jump in on. Data's looking pretty solid. Not worried about it. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. We'll be doing a giveaway in just a little tiny bit. Everyone knows to come on over here about 11-ish. We start doing giveaways. We'll do about like 20 minutes, so hang tight. How I discovered my trading strategy. Well, it's a mix of a bunch of different strategies that I've kind of created over the years. My job or my goal, like, you know, essentially, and here I am giving the speech about not shorting. Let's see if Trump is saying something. Gotta love. Literally, no shorting is the rule here. A little bump up here. What's going on with this? Who's talking and who's saying what? It's a huge volume there on futures. What is going on here? Let me open up a tick chart really quick. Let's watch the flow. What is going on? China grants export licenses to rare earth suppliers and top 3 US automakers sources. Oh, that's nice. So the idea was that, you know, when I started trading, I was kind of struggling to find something that can help me get sense of the market. And the first thing I started doing when I was trading oil, this is kind of a pattern I started noticing, was that every time those oil reports would come out on Wednesday mornings, that the oil would span a certain range. It was pretty similar every time. Good news, bad news, it didn't matter. Oil would go up 80 cents, down 80 cents, up, whatever it was. And I started noticing there was consistency with it. Then one day I came in and then the range was like every Wednesday it was like, oh, it'd go down 80 cents or up 80 cents or down 80 cents. And I came back like a Wednesday later and then it was like, oh, 70 cents now. 70 and 70 and 70 and 70. And then a couple weeks later, it's like, oh, it's 65. And I was like, okay, there's something mechanical here because it's repeatable. And then every once in a while, there's a step change. And I started looking into it and trying to figure out what's causing that range to get bigger as time would go by. And I started thinking that, okay, well, it just sounds mechanical, like the, you know, futures market obviously tracks the underlying spot prices. Okay, so maybe there's something going on with that. So let me look into what allows the Globex to track the underlying, right? And I started reading into the CME Group's Globex stuff, and they had all kind of patents that they put out on different kinds of things. I was asking friends, we had a futures trading community, and everybody was like, yeah, you know, there's all these things the CME does. You know, they set regulations for way market makers behave. They set regulations for how margin requirements set up. You know, everything there is like, even the gapping price is a CME equation. Okay, so let's look at that. And I started reading on their website all the different things that they have on the Globex. It was fascinating how this is like one giant video poker machine that we're playing with rules, right? Futures moves around inside of a rule-based system. And then I got even more clever and found out the CME Group patented a lot of their stuff, a lot of their techniques for setting margin requirements, everything, patents on everything. And so I went out there and actually, you know, 10 years ago, read pretty much every single patent I can get my hands on. And it was a wealth of information that the computer system that we're all trading against, the Globex, is one single authority that's moving price around to try to track an underlying commodity. And market makers have to line up behind that algorithm and quote the bid and ask to provide liquidity. And so when you piece it all together, the CME Group has basically created this really nice, robust system for futures and markets to stay afloat. And they basically hand you the rule book if you read the patents. And inside of that, I got a million ideas of consistent indicators I can pull out of that information. because something that is repeatable is consistent. Then I created this green line, this risk interval, the one that's don't short below. It is a very solid, rock solid resistance pivot to keep the futures market controlled, basically. And my idea was, okay, I can use this information to make pivots out of. And I created a lot of techniques around CME Globex functions. And I just basically create volume pivots off of it. This green line is a guaranteed volume pivot when you touch it or get near it. Let me show you an example. There's something neat going on there, but we looks like we passed through it on the event. But on a normal day, when you touch it, you'll see volume happening. And it gave me an idea to create, the risk interval was something I created, which is a range that futures can basically span to stay still tracking the underlying without getting too far from it. All these little tiny control systems exist on the Globex. And that created like the first half of our techniques. Then as time went by, I started learning more about options, and it inspired me even further to create some more stuff. In the options world, I started digging around. I had a student that I was teaching the older style, the future stuff to, and he was an options trader, and he clued me into, I didn't know anything about options at the time, and he just completely clued me into options. And his commentary was basically like, you ever heard of options? I was like, well, no, what are they? He's like, well, an option is a contract. And I was like, well, I know what they are, but like, what about it? Like, why do you trade them? He's like, oh, options are beautiful because, an option tells you supply and demand of, or traders want to buy or sell a stock at any point in time. And all that information's there. And there's a bunch of math that tells you the probability of that option paying out, or the option going in the money, or the probability that trader wants those stocks. The price is relative to the probability of the stock going in the money, or the option going in the money. And I was like, okay, so, because I really started learning about the commitment of traders at that time. The commitment of traders is a positional report that helps me find positions in the market, right? I can tell how market makers are longing or shorting more, and hedge funds are longing or shorting more. And it's a report the CFTC does that gives you information about, the active positions in the landscape in the market, like who's open, what position where. And that is extremely important because, in all my trek of reading CME Group stuff, their job is to provide a steady market. The market makers are providing liquidity underneath that. And all of it's designed to make sure that the market just ebbs and flows consistently and tracks the thing it's supposed to track. And the underlying stocks are random. So they're going to go up and down, and the futures market is just a computer system trying to track the underlying, right? And with that, we found some really hefty high volume pivots that were very consistent. And then my next thought was, well, how can I track the positional landscape better with the futures? We get a daily report of everybody's open positions, but I don't know where somebody bought, where they want to buy, where they want to hedge. I just know that somebody's long or short right now. And so when my friend was telling about options, I got this brainstorm and I go, well, that's the answer, because, he told me this and I was like, wait, an options tells me how much somebody wants to buy, where they want to buy, and when they want to buy it by. He goes, yeah, and the price of the option is based on an equation called Black-Scholes, which is the probability is of the option winner or loser, the two traders in that options trade, it's balanced to where there's a 50% chance that each person wins their trade, and it's priced to make that probability 50% at all times. So there's a time decay and a volatility decay, and all market conditions are built into this equation. It's this master equation that talks about the risk of the options market, the landscape. And I had this like, what the fuck? I was like, options are a packet of data that tell me the probability of certain things happening in the market. And I can derive the positional landscape from those probabilities. He's like, yeah, he's like, I've been working on it for a few years and I've not made any headroom on it. But he's like, if you crack the options code, you'll create the holy grail in the market. And I said, I can use options to find volume. That's exactly what I said. He's like, yeah, you can, if you can figure out how to do it. And he says, I can't figure out how to do it, but he's like, that's the right. So we were just brainstorming about options. And I started telling my friends, I'm like, I'm going to start looking into options. I read all the technical papers on what Black-Scholes is and how the calculations work. And it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I'm a mathematician, so it wasn't hard. And then I just dove into it. And options landscape is now the bread and butter of Rocket Scooter. Where all these pivots I'm drawing on my screen are high volume pivots derived from options and options risk. You didn't miss the giveaway yet, but that's the long story short. Basically, I was reading patents and then I was getting inspired by understanding my job is to find volume. When you can find volume, trading is easy. You can narrow down every place you can trade at to just a few actionable places. Like in here, this is all noise. When it's noise, what do? Well, Matt's going to sit out. This is just noise, right? There's nothing to trade here. I'm going to have volume here. Yes. I'm going to have volume here. Yes. So I'm going to trade where I know traders are going to be. And so all the indicators I've created are all able to find volume. And I only trade where the volume is going to be. And liquidity maps were birthed out of that one conversation I had with that one person who was like, you didn't know what options were? I was like, I know they're a thing, but you know, I thought they'd be as random as stocks, right? Stocks just have a supply and demand, and that's what guides the price. There's nothing else to it. The randomness of the buying and selling drives the price up and down. And I thought options were the same way. No, options are sophisticated. Options are based on the probability of two traders. Neither one of them has an edge. The option is priced, the bid and ask is priced accordingly, that neither the owner of the option or the seller of the option has an edge over the other. And I was like, so the price is balanced such that if one person has an edge, that the price is lowered until the edge is gone. He's like, yeah, pretty much. That's how Black-Scholes works. I was like, oh, so options are pricing in every single possible reason one of the trader, the long or the short, can have the edge over the other. Yeah, like if the volatility significantly drops, the price of the option drops, right? So that the long owner of the option, you know, and he's like, this is just read how he's like, read the equation, you'll understand how it works. And I read it and I was like, this, I've never known that this was available. I didn't know anything about it. And then I read into it and then I never looked back. So, Spot Gamma. Well, we're a lot better than Spot Gamma. We're the step up on Spot Gamma. Spot Gamma was what that guy used. Very basic options heat map, exposure heat maps. There's nothing magical about Spot Gamma. And you can basically recreate it. So we did a different level. We took it a step beyond just identifying the options landscape. We have an algorithm that watches the options order flow and filters out options that we don't find belong to a hedge trade, a neutral risk market maker trade. And that's what my algorithm actually does. So we watch the order flow as it goes through, and we can connect options trades in real time to other trades around the market. See if an option belongs to like a tandem trade. A tandem trade being a trade that is, if you bought 10,000 options contracts here, and then you saw somewhere else there was 100,000 stock shares sold, you can tell that they're connected, right? It's a hedge. And when you see those kind of tandem trades show up together, then you can assume that somebody's using the options to hedge. And we're extracting those from the options flow. And nobody else out there does that at all. And the idea was, if you can extract the neutral hedge trades, then the neutral trades themselves. Ooh, here we go. The neutral trades themselves. Oh, now do I want to take the DD band long? So there's the play. Do I want to risk a long or take a short? That's big selling right there. Nope. Okay, not gonna long. Let's take the high probability. Let's wait. So the idea is that, like, your spot gammas of the world were the starting point in the gamma exposure world and the options exposure world. And then we took it a step further. So while instead of what they would do is they would take the entire options open interest and create a heat map off of it. Now, bears could short from here. If you're bearish, there's your short pivot. There's a confirmation. If you're bullish, on the break, you'll buy. So what do I want to be today? A bear or a bull? Signs are good. Signs are good. Let me get some nasty. Can I just take one? Just to play one? This is low probability. So I'm below the band. I should wait for the confirmation. But I'll just do one contract on it. One S&P contract. If I fall 15 points, I'll close out. I'll give myself 85 on this one. I'm only touching in literally one account. $500 of risk. If not, I'll grab the long at my better pivots. Now Nasdaq hit its own pivot. Okay, let me grab it in a second account on Nasdaq. I'm longing right here on Nasdaq. Oops. So I doubled down just in 2 accounts. Just to take a second trade. Needs to get a pivot back to open on positive res. I'm seeing a very small risk here. This is not the best setup, but hopefully we can see a good hold there. Quickie little flush trade, which I like to see that. Little bounce on NQ. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Bounce from here to open. Nasdaq is moving quicker. My S&P's not moving that much. Let's rip it, baby. Rip roar it. Rip roar it. Patience pays, baby. My Nasdaq's doing good. My S&P's moving slow. Nasdaq is up 1,500. I got 2 contracts on Nasdaq on that bounce. Come on, keep going. Come on, give me some more green, baby. Give me some more of that green. Let's go. Nice shot. Nice, nice. Look at this, baby. This is what I'm telling you. Patience. Burr, 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 burr. All right, I really have to go to the bathroom. I have to pee really bad. I'm going to hang on to this, no stop, but I'm going to give me like 5 seconds. I'll be right back, okay? I'm going to pee as fast as pee I've ever done in my whole life. Okay. Fastest pee ever. Wake up. Look, let me tell you something about washing your hands, okay? When you're peeing, people think you should wash your hands after you pee, right? Tell technically speaking, you should probably wash your hands before you go to the bathroom. According to my dermatologist friend who says this, and it's really funny, your hands are dirtier than your junk. Okay? They really are. So you should probably wash your hands before you go to the bathroom, before you touch your junk, because you're gonna put germs on your junk. They say your junk tends to be a little cleaner. Sounds like gross conversation about this, but it's kind of sweatier down there. You know, sweat's a disinfectant. So you should wash your hands before you touch your junk, and then you should maybe wash your hands after your junk. But it said the joke they said is unless you pee on your hands, you really, by touching your junk, actually cleans your hands because you transfer bacteria away from them. So holding your dick is the same thing as washing your hands. That was my friend's joke, and I thought that was hilarious. Very scientific about that. Love it. I just closed out my NASDAQ trade just now. I made 1443 profit just back to open. Green to open is a pivot. The S&P I'm just going to hold indefinitely until I get up to the... Hey, what's up, HRH? If it goes, holding till 22,250. Thanks for the dono. I'm with you, bro. I think this is a good start for a big run. If it double taps the upper DD band, I'll hit it one more time. I just put one S&P contract on it. I always trade it small. I'm so sorry about the crunching, man. Listen, don't tell iDoc that I'm eating jalapeno chips. Rebecca, she'll get mad at me. But yeah, as funny as it says, your junk isn't out there touching everything. Well, unless you're Victor. I'm just kidding, Victor. Hold on, Pickle's here. Speaking of that, I'll make some water real quick. What's up, boy? Come on. What's up, boy? We have a special guest today. We do give away in a little bit as well. What's up, big boy? What's up, big boy? Coming on with this, huh? Your secret is safe with us. Victor disapprove. My take profit typically is to next pivot. So so remember I told you guys I got the long on the S&P here. I had one more as well in NASDAQ that I took. So when S&P hit its pivot, I took a long here. And then when NASDAQ hit its pivot, I take a long there as well. They're looking pretty nice here. I'm thinking about adding another trade on S&P right now to another account. I'm going to go ahead and take a long here in a second account. I already closed out my NASDAQ trade for a scalp. I'm now going to trade S&P for another trade. See that we hold. Pickle, you shush. What? I think gotta pee again, probably. This is the bear bull kind of pivot right here. Bears, this is your short. Bulls, this is your long. So it's up to you to decide which way you want it to go. But this is the pivot, right? You guys want to know how good, when I told you the whole story about me reading CME patterns, how good my pivots were? Look at the volume. It's predictable high volume, and it's so fucking good at predicting volume. It's incredible. So yeah, don't pee on your hands. No point of washing your hands after. Technically, they said you didn't have to wash your hands after. You actually, by touching your junk, actually cleans your hands. I found that to be incredibly cool. You're gonna have more bacteria going this way than this way. And I was like, oh, pickle what? Oh, buddy. He probably got a pee now. What? Percy, I smell the chips. I'm sorry, you guys. I need to be more. It was a good move. Didn't go up when I thought. Long 3-5 still lost, but I had about 4 on the jump. So basically, yeah. The joke was you should touch it more. You know what I mean? Clearly. You know, for cleanliness. So next time your parents tell you you'll go blind if you touch it too much, just let them know you're doing your own diligence and being hygienic. Touch it before and after for a hedge. But yes, always wash your hands before and after. That is the real rule. But no, none of us do it before because we're always in a hurry. So we're okay with it. Now you want some chips? Let me tell you something though. Zaps as a Cajun myself, and these are New Orleans style chips. Well, actually, New Orleans more Creole than Cajun, right? So either way, you know, my family's from that area. And what's up? And so as a Cajun, I want my jalapeno chips. I want anything spicy to be spicy, right? And Zaps, for whatever reason, their jalapeno chips suck. I mean, they're good. I'm not gonna say that they're bad, but man, like Miss Vicky's or something, they've got some heat on it. That's what I like. Theirs is kind of like, not so spicy. James says, no wonder I'm so healthy. You guys are too funny. Y'all are way too funny. All right. What's up, boy? What's wrong? Why are you being feisty? Let me let you out. The green line is the strong support. Yep, that's the one I drew. All right, we'll do a giveaway just a little bit. What's up, boy? What's up, buddy? What's up? Stop biting my face. Biting my face. I get out of my face. You're annoying, but you're cute. So I grabbed that trade a second time whenever it bounced in another account. So I did one account I scalped long, and I got another one I'm scalping long as well, and I get this one I'm scalping long. It's only active in 2 accounts right now. The first bounce, the second bounce, I added a position here, and now I'm just long for the ride. What? This is his he wants attention growl. This isn't his I have to pee growl. His I have to pee growl usually is like more like a whimper. What? And he does this thing, it's so funny. Like when he's growling, he goes like ruff, 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 and he spins his head in different directions. Watch him. Watch him. See, he'll do it. Hold on. You ready? Ruff. Hey. You growl? You growl? You growl? Do your head thing. Right, he's not doing it. And he'll just like spin his head around. It's so funny. Like he'll just go. Ruff, ruff. He's like side eye looking at you. What? You don't see him? Wait, hold on. Let's pull it back a little bit so y'all can see. Watch. See if he'll do it. There you go. He did it. Good. So he'll like turn his head when he barks. It's so funny. I can't understand it, but come on, you want out? Go. I'll take you out in like an hour or 10 minutes. Free Victor. All right. All right, so you guys type in a prop firm right now. So type in your favorite prop firm right now, and the first 20 people to type something, I'm gonna make a giveaway of whatever I see the most. Only top 20. Okay, stop typing. Okay, stop typing. Let's see. Counting the top 20. My funded futures, TPT, 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 my funded, TPT, my funded. Okay, it's a tie between TPT and my funded. Okay, new conversation. TPT or my funded? Y'all pick one of the two. I'll do a giveaway on whichever one you guys want more. Between those two. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to randomly pick something. And it looks like most people say TPT. Okay, good. Because I'll do my funded stay on my funded segment in an hour. So when I go on my funded TV, we'll do that too. Okay, guys. TPT today, baby. TPT. That's it. I'll let y'all pick. And I'm going to take Pickle out while we wait. We're going to do 250K of test accounts. Okay. And you guys need to come support me over at My Funded TV because we're going to do giveaways there every single time as well. All right, I'll be right back. We'll take Pickle out. I'm going to take my phone in case I need to like stop out of my position or something. Right back. What? Am I making money? How am I doing? Oh, cool. How are we doing? All right, guys, TBT. 3 flights of stairs. Okay. My bad. You'll have to type it again one more time. Only type it once, though. Starting now. Type it one more time and then no more spam. Oh, it's so good. I don't like that we're consolidating below the band. Come on, baby. Let's get some movement here. If we get up to 1,000 viewers every day like we are on track to do, I will personally buy a Tradeify straight to funded account for every day we have 1,000 on top of the giveaways that we're doing. So really thank you guys for supporting the channel. So leave the stream open. Even if you watch someone else, leave our stream open. Help us get up there. You guys will get free accounts. Funded accounts, not just the regular ones, but the funded ones. Stick you guys straight to funded. Come on, market. How are we looking for the day? So you got like one more test in this area. I'd love to see 942 by the end of the day today. It'd be kind of nice. You were bearish from 9:30 to 11? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Why were you bearish? Like, what was your thesis for bear market? So I'm currently long in just 2 accounts right now. I've called out all my trades. I've shown you guys one on the screen, the one I'm doing. I waited. When S&P hit DD band, I longed. When NASDAQ hit DD band, I longed as well. So one account, I took profit there. The second account, I longed again, about to take profit here as well. NASDAQ, 2 contracts each in NASDAQ, 1 contract S&P. This one's a lighter trade than the other one was. I probably could hit this one slightly heavier at the open. But again, I don't want to take too much risk. The NASDAQ ones, I need to make some momentum in these accounts to get closer to payout. So I'm hitting 2 of these accounts a little harder. I want to get the payout today. Again, I'm just talking about my 5 Tradeify, the same ones I've been babysitting for the last 4 months. All right, guys. All right, spin the wheel. Oops, hold on.
Resilience, support in the bull zone. Everything rocket scooter. All you need and all you own. The hedge pressure resilience, support in the bull zone. Everything rocket scooter. All you need and all you own.
Spin the wheel, partner. Where's my blue sunglasses?
Rocket scooter's the best.
What if Pickle stole him?
Rocket Scooter's the best.
I hate this thing, dude. Goofy looking. Really? Where are my boots? Over there. Not collecting myself again. You're messing my part. TBT test account 2 winners. William Orchard, you got to type in your name or something in chat really quick. Say hi. Nice job. Okay, one more person. Think I'll buy some support. The wheel spin takes way too long. My trades are pumping. Let's go. D Van Long right at the bottom. Look how good our pivots are, man. Woo. Hooray. Noel Biles, you are today's winner. All right, cool. Sweet. It's like we have like a moment of high energy and then we fall back into the chill, peaceful. No more typing TBT. The contest is over, guys. Contest is over. No more typey. No more. No more. No more. No more. All right, you two winners, you know the drill. Go to my Discord. Everybody here must join our Discord to be part of the contest. If you're not in the Discord, can't take the prize. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Got my 40 points on NASDAQ a second time. Let's roll it. I love it. Rip it, baby. Let's rip it. Let's run it. Can take profit on that. So I made one scalp on NASDAQ, another scalp on NASDAQ, 2 different accounts closed out, and I still have my S&P. I'm holding on for the ride. The one contract to hold on for the ride. Yeah, winners, join our Discord. Send me a message. I swear there should be more. I thought I shot more money out. Nah, it's over here. Send me a message. Take a picture of your YouTube so I know that it's you. Go to my Discord, send me, Matt, a message top right of the screen when you join. You must have an account with Take Profit, and you must give me the email at which your account was made under, and then I send it to them. They give you your account. You are good. Why in the title do I have 30K and yesterday 139? Pierre Franco, well, you just did the math, right? I took a loss yesterday. What's the question that you have? I didn't make money yesterday. On stream I did, but after stream I still traded and I didn't make money. I took a loss at the end of the day. What was your question? Was your question why I took a loss, or did I take a loss? Why I took a loss is a little, basically just, I tried to trade towards the end of the day. I was up about $1,000 and towards the end of the day, I tried to buy some of those dips and I just got fucking squashed. That shit chop at the end of the day got me. I wouldn't call it over trading because I did have some really solid pivots to trade off of, but dude, it was like, it's just stupid. Like essentially when I left my funded TV right here, I was actually I was in the green. I was actually in the green like $2,000 because as the green about 1,000 on stream and about 2,000 there. And then I started trying to buy some of these dips and I got squeezed like 2 times in a row. And 9,000 is not really that big of a deal. It's like 2,000 per account if you really think about it. 1 to 2,000 per account. So I made like a couple of trades and a couple of accounts that didn't work. Then I tried it again with a couple more, it didn't work. And I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. But I also trade when I'm not on the stream, because sometimes I'll be trading in the afternoon too. So when I left the stream, yeah, I was making money, but by the end of the day, I wasn't. All right, let me take a little bit of profit on this one, just for now. I know I'll take my 500 bucks. I've closed out everything. Good. Green across the board. Yeah, sometimes I'll trade in the afternoon. Sometimes I'll over trade. Sometimes I'll fuck it up by the end of the day. It happens. Binance, you can join the boot camp right now if you want to. You don't have to wait for the next one. You can jump right in. My run of futures starts at 12:30, so in 40 minutes. Dude, I got this chicken recipe that I've always made. I found out later there's an actual name for it. My grandma just had her own thing for it, but they call it Marry Me Chicken. And what it is just chicken. You pan fry it lightly with just a little flour, not really like deep fry. Sear it on both sides. They're still not cooked in the middle. Then you make your typical Alfredo sauce with just cream, butter, and cheese, and some chicken broth. And then you stew the chicken inside of that. And you put sun-dried tomatoes in the mix and red pepper flakes. And it is like by far, like, I think they call it Marry Me Chicken because when you whoever makes it for you, you should marry them. You made that the other night? It's so easy, dude, and it's good, right? Mine was just Alfredo chicken with sun-dried tomatoes in it, but there's an actual name for it. Trading tour, the boot camp. Join our boot camp if you want to learn the videos, and it's by far designed to be pretty much. Here, I'll give you the link. Here's the link. I'll type it in chat. Here's the link for the boot camp. It's $20 for the month, so it's not even that expensive. It's 20 videos, $20, $1 a piece, and we meet live every day for an hour to an hour and a half, like an hour and a half, to do live training, and it's after market close. Videos are recorded if you can't watch them live. That's the only way. That's the only place we teach. But it's designed to be a program from start to finish, and it takes you on a journey of risk management. It's something that most people that have gone through our boot camp praise it to a high degree. It's part of the reason our YouTube channel has grown so big, because there's so many people that have gone through the program and they stick around and tell their friends and gift it to other people and stuff. Maybe I'm eating something. I could put my mouth directly on the mic. Am I being discourteous to you guys? I'm sorry about that. I woke up late. I didn't even eat breakfast. I was rushing in here. I'm sorry. I'm fucking borderline. You know, myself. I'm a borderline, you know. I'm sure I'm not Asperger's, but I'm close to it, and I have that condition where noises are annoying as shit to me. Like when people chew, I just want to like rip their face off. I know. That's me. I have that, whatever it is, there's a condition. And I can't go to a movie theater half the time. People are like crunching popcorn next to me. I just want to like claw their faces off. So I have that where the sound of people eating is super annoying. They say that's also a sign of highly intelligent people. A lot of highly intelligent people are very like turned off by normal human behaviors, like that make sounds or something. So I would be absolutely annoyed with me if I was listening to somebody smacking the mic, so my bad. Man, good luck with your trade, bro. You've been short all day. It's kind of tough. And I can't tell you what to do in your position. In our boot camp, we have strict rules not to short in this environment. So there's no way out. That's the problem, is other than just taking your loss or crossing your fingers. And that's up to you how you do it. Am I borderline fire retardant? No, I'm full blown. I'm off the spectrum of that. Your wife hates the sound of chewing. Dude, I hate it. iDoc is afraid to eat near me sometimes, but I've gotten used to her. But the problem is, if you guys know any, you know, authentic Vietnamese cuisine, they tend to eat a lot of crunchy stuff like bones and cartilage and things, like when it comes to chicken wings. And she's always like crunching on her bones. And I'm always like, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So the next boot camp should start in about 2 weeks. You can jump in now and still get the benefit, or you can wait till it starts. Up to you. If you jump in now, you'll be a little late and maybe a little lost. It's good to come for class 1. I'll tell you guys. In 2 weeks when we start over, you guys should be just jump in. You never know how crazy you are until you move in with someone else. Oh, I'm batshit crazy, I know. High IQ is very sound sensitive. I really am sorry for munching in the mic. I'm not paying attention, and I know I should probably be more I'm usually more cognizant of that but I'm having an off day today. I'm hungry and I didn't sleep much. What the heck is that? What the heck? What on earth is Discord playing music? Okay. This is good trading today. Pretty decent day, decent setup. Things looking pretty good. I just took a long scalp. I wasn't playing for breakout yet. I wanted to, but I decided to take profit anyways. But if you were to ask me if I think it goes up before it goes down. It would be nice to tag some of these A+ setups today. All right. Reading what you guys have said here. No cap, you lost a lot of confidence yesterday. It was early day flush, end of the day flush. Bro, yesterday hit me, dude. Like, I was up, I was down, I was up. I was up more than I was down, end of the day. Yesterday, busted a lot of people. A lot of my friends took hits. A lot of the traders out there took hits. I took a $9,000 hit. I think Rips busted all of his PA accounts yesterday. Just yesterday. Trust me when I say, dude, don't feel bad. Yesterday whooped the pros pretty bad. So if it hits the pros, you shouldn't feel bad. Yesterday was just weird for everybody. Nobody's shit worked across the board. Everybody got smoked yesterday. Tough day. I saw myself, if the bigs are losing money, I'm like, okay, me too. And then we all got tricked, you know? And it happens. So what's the benefit of getting the new Switch versus the old Switch? Is it more powerful? Because like the Nintendo Switch, like when they came out with the new Wii, I never bought the new Wii, the second one they made. Are the new games only available on the new Switch, I guess? Bigger screen. Is the new Mario Kart better than the last one? They're all good, right? Nobody bought the new Wii, did they? The second Wii U or whatever it's called. So the new games are only going to be for Switch 2. Got it. But I can transfer my old Switch games to my Nintendo account to the new Switch, right? The Wii. bought the second Wii. As long as I can port all my old Switch games to the new one, I might as well get it. I don't have a Steam Deck. I always wanted to get one, but I don't know. When I travel, I just play my Switch. I should get a Steam Deck though, because that'd be much better. What GPU do I have on my PC? I have a 5090 in my gaming computer, and I have a 5080 in this computer. So I just upped my GPUs last month to next gen, baby. Sorry about this, guys. I think I swallowed a fly or something. The Ally is better than the Steam Deck, you think? I probably should do a giveaway for my old GPUs. I have 3080 Ti's that have water cooling blocks on them, so you need to have a water cooling system. And maybe I should do a giveaway. Dude, big tick, bro. Don't be discouraged, man. I know it's tough. Yesterday was tough for everybody. Yeah, Steam is absolutely better because you can play all your games on Steam Deck. Nintendo games are fun, and they're fun to have and fun to play, but it's like I'm not normally jonesing for a Nintendo game. It's mostly like when iDoc and I want to do something, we'll bust the Switch out and play It Takes Two or whatever. And the only time I ever really jones for Nintendo was when the Metroid game came out, the last one, and for Zelda. That's basically it. That's the only time I'm like glued to my Switch. You're still rocking 3090s? 3090s are a beast, dude. You'll probably not really ever have to change those for a long time. Like 3090s might struggle a little bit with, like, you know, they won't do 4K and ultra graphics, but for 1080p or even 2K, 3090s will still crush pretty good on highest frame rate, and also for ray tracing and all that. I got 5090 for 4K, and it's a beast. So I got one 5090 and one 5080. And I actually have never played games on the 5080, so I'm not even sure. 5080 was probably like a 20% boost over the 3080 Ti's, maybe 10 to 20%. And it's on this computer, but I haven't even installed Steam on this computer yet. I have a whole gaming setup that's different. I've never played Towerfall. What monitor specs do I have on the gaming? I have the... Let me show you the monitor I have. I have the... I think I have the PG27. I think this is the one. Hold on. PG27 UQR. Hold on. No, that's not the one I have. Hold on. No, it's not 27. I'm sorry. 32. This is the one that I have. Let me find a spec for it. P32 UCDM. 32 UCDM. This is the one I have. This one right here. It's probably $1,200. Yeah, that's about right. Let me find the specs for it. It's a beast for 4K. Oh, it's great. What? Oh, except cookies. 32-inch 4K QD OLED, 240 refresh rate, 0.03 millisecond response time, and then yeah, it's pretty good. Really good. My favorite purchase from the last year, probably this monitor. Well, no, this one and my 5090. Usually when I travel, I take my laptop with me when I travel, and I play games when I travel. So I got a 5090 laptop, and even for gaming, it's the laptop takes a hit over the desktop, but I got a 5080 for the desktop and I got a 5090 on the laptop. So then I can travel and I can just play freaking, you know, beast level games. I always buy the highest end laptop I can find. And I would have gotten a 5090 for this PC, but I'm not going to play games on this PC. And the laptop is so powerful. It runs 4K everything, cyberpunk, extreme psycho graphics, full ray tracing, you know, 180 frames a second on a laptop. 5090 is a beast. Even on the laptop version, which is probably like 40% of what you'd get on the desktop version. Even so, it's still a monster. Yeah. Your ally runs Elden Ring at 50 frames. Oh, that's not bad at all. Elden Ring peaks at 60 frames, so the game can't go any faster than that. That's good that you can get almost max. That needs a 5090 to get all the juice from it. Yeah, my previous gaming laptop was a 3080, but I also stream with that when I travel. So it's like streaming, gaming together. I game when I'm in a hotel stuck there. So I need a beast laptop to play with. And the 3080 was pretty decent. I mean, it could play Apex, it could play COD. It wasn't like super high graphics, but the 5090 is a monster. And it just kind of doesn't take up a lot of room on my gaming desk, and it's nice. So if I ever run into a game that needs a 5090 or something, I might get one for this computer over here, but I don't know. I don't like gaming on this one. And this one has really nice monitors as well. Like this one has a QD OLED 27-inch right in front of me. It's really nice. Oh, it's almost time to get my funded. Yeah, I usually don't play like awesome crazy graphics when I'm doing anything competitive. I put everything on as medium as I can, turn all the shadows off. Unless it's player shadows, and I leave those on so I can see people walk around a corner. But I turn all the I like the lowest latency possible in competitive gaming. Yeah, when it comes to like RPGs or adventure, open world, I gotta crank it up. Trump is preparing large-scale cancellation of federal funding to programs in California. Oh. Trump's on a rampage today and yesterday. He is like going to war with the Democrats' old policies. Crazy. You want like such good graphics? You want to see like hair on the booty cheeks? GTA 6, dude. I can't wait to see how good those graphics are. I got a 5090 prepared for it. Need a commitment to yourself, nothing but RS. Nice, nice, nice. So normally I've been going to My Funded at 12:30, so I go to My Funded TV and I'm there for an hour, and then after that I usually come back and stream. But lately my one of my doctor friends told me that I'm damaging my vocal cords by talking too much all day every day, and I need to rest them because I started getting like really sharp pain in my throat. And he's like, yeah, you can't talk for 8 hours a day. So I kind of have to start taking it easy, doctor's orders, so I can't stream in the afternoons anymore. But I'll be back streaming afternoons for sure at some point. You guys keep supporting the channel. We really appreciate that. I've been talking so much, I'm killing my voice. Blink twice if she's... Yeah, but how does that explain the black eye, Matt? Shh, she's listening. She's listening. All right. It would be extremely awesome to get a... high prob setup here. One more. I have to make up for yesterday. Three lines means if it breaks. It doesn't mean I'm taking the short, but if it breaks here, we have high prob setup here, high prob setup here. Res greater than 0 would support this as well since they line up next to each other for extra confluence. Extra crispy, extra confluence right here in the middle. Res is good, res is good. So nothing to worry about there. This market's pretty sane. If it starts to pick up any more momentum to sell, I'd be more glad to buy at a lower area. Ooh, somebody calling me from a private name, business loan. Hello. 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 Can you repeat that?
Yes. So I am calling to inform you about the new Medicare benefits in your area. We sent you a letter about it. We are now offering improved dental, vision, and hearing with cash back of up to $200.
So, hold on, lady. So my question, my question is, if I wash my hands before I pee versus after I pee, can I get a discount on my Medicare if I'm taking less risk by getting diseases?
All your relevant questions will be covered by our specialist, and I will be happy to transfer your call towards him after checking your eligibility.
Oh God, I don't want to torture some poor soul just doing their job. Yeah, it's AI every day. But I get these phone numbers that sometimes you have to answer because you never know if it's something important. I don't know. I hate, like, I know if I was to get on, I know, like, your first instinct is to, like, yeah, transfer me to somebody and then scream at them and be like, who the fuck are you calling me, blah, blah, blah. But then I think that the person probably hates that they call you and it's just a paycheck. If I were to, like, scream at a telemarketer, they'd probably be like, listen, bro, like, between you and me, I hate that I fucking do this too, so I'm sorry. And we'd probably be friends. So you got to be careful not being mean to people. They're just doing their job, but fuck these companies all the time. Yeah, you always think it might be your kids at school or your parents, you know, God forbid, in the hospital or something. All day long. But the business loan people, dude, they are like ruthless. One of the business loan guys was like pushing at me. He's like, you want to take a business loan, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you know, we're giving up the $300,000 in fund. I'm like, no, I'm not taking loan shark business loans by freaking cold call. And the guy's like, but don't you think you need, and I'm like, don't interrupt me. I don't want the loan. He's like, yeah, but here's the thing. I'm like, listen, stop talking over me. He's like, you don't fucking talk over me. And they get scream and they cuss at you and they yell at you. And they're just like, and I had one guy like saying, yeah, I hope your business fails, you fucking pussy, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, whoa, like, dang, bro. Okay. They're mean. But everyone else, they're just doing their job. Business loan people are nice. And I don't even know how I got into a database, probably just because I have a business. They probably go into the state records and just start calling every business out there. I don't even know. What company is that? Oh, I don't even ever know. I'd like to speak to the business owner. I'm like, hello. Hi, this is Steve from Chicago. I'm here to... I'm like, you're not from Chicago, dude. Your name's not Steve. Who was talking to me like that? I get random phone calls every day that look legit. Like it says it's from Memorial Hermann Hospital or something, and I'll pick it up and it's somebody trying to trying to loan you $500,000 for your business or whatever. I'm absolutely certain that these are loan shark loans. If you would take one, I bet you have to sign your car over to them or something. And it's probably like a 40% interest rate or something. You know what I mean? Got to hit him with the Uno reverse. That actually sounds like a smart idea. How about I loan you some money? That's actually funny bartending. I like that idea. Like, bro, come on. You got a family to feed. Try a little harder. But yeah, one guy got really angry. And he was angry because I was trying to stop him while he was pitching. I was like, don't. I told him, I was like, don't. I was like, no, I'm not interested. Can you take me up? He's like, no, but listen. I'm like, no, just take me off your database. You know, just stop calling me. You guys call me every day. And he was mad that I was like interrupting him or whatever. Oh, we need to go. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Pretty decent. Oh, I forgot. For the haters out there, I forgot to take a screenshot of the profits. Oops, I sometimes forget. But the same 5 accounts have been babysitting all day, every day, all day, every day. It's not 5 different accounts. It's not only show the winners. It's the same 5, always the same 5. Been the same 5 since February, March, whatever. And it's the same 5 accounts. There it is, all green on the board. One of the accounts I hadn't touched yet. Waiting to hit it. One of the accounts I made a little. The NASDAQ accounts made it big. Looking good. Scalping the long green line. Easy peasy. Let's go. I don't know how much that was, but that was money on the board. Guided through all those trades, showed you the one screen I did, and that's it. We're going to be over My Funded Futures in just a second. Everybody go there. Support us over there because we're going to be doing a ton of giveaways on that stream. They give away like 10 to 50 accounts every day. I'll give you guys a link. Well, everybody go in there and start hitting up. Rocket Scooter, just talk it in. Say hi.
They have to do that. I promised everybody that you're gonna.
Here's the link. Rockets in chat. Hype us up. Give us some love.
Like the stream, share the stream. I need to see it. Let's rally it back to 1,000.
Resilience makes the weak ones fly. Future volume crystal clear. Rocket scooter.